coming at you.
All right, welcome back to the Infinite Weekend Podcast. What episode are we on?
It should be...
I forgot to look. 47?
47, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I think it's 47. I'm Zach. This is Josh. And then we do have a special guest.
Yep, so the guy that I've been trying to get on here and talk about all the time, Gage Speas. He's in the house with us tonight.
I'm here. I made it. We made it work.
Welcome, dude.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, 47, Zach. 47.
Okay.
It's a good number.
Good. I got to keep track
Good
of
year.
that. Almost,
absolutely.
Almost 52, which would be a full year. We did 1 week, one episode.
Yeah, because April was 1 year.
Yeah.
And then we did a little hiatus for a couple weeks.
Sweet.
And I got random messages from people. It's crazy. I was like, nobody will share our shit. I'll be like, hey, sign up. We always said 10,000 friends.
10,000.
Share with 10,000 friends.
Yeah.
Do that for us.
Right.
Love it.
And then Gage has shared for us. We had a couple. And then like randomly we'd stop for 2 weeks. Somebody said, you guys like done with the show?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, why does it matter now? You can't be like, hey, check this out whenever I share shit, you dick.
Right, you've been keeping it to yourself.
You're right. I was like, are you embarrassed?
I didn't think you weren't sharing it with anybody. We didn't think you really cared. You know?
Yeah.
All of a sudden now, then we disappear and they're like, hey.
Yeah, people really came out of the woodworks. It was cool, though.
That's good, though. It shows people are listening, which is awesome.
Well,
yeah, dude, we have a very small but dedicated following. I guess.
That's freaking sick, though. I mean, you have a following.
and our following is, what was the demographic? I think it was like 28% women.
That's surprisingly high.
Well, we left Vegas. We had 16 new listeners when we left Vegas because we told everybody we'd meet.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because I'm a talker when I start drinking.
Yeah, you are.
So we were at the bar, and I was just like...
You don't need to drink. You're just talking.
Oh, dude, I know. I was like, hey, I'm sorry. They're like, where are you from? I was like, I'm from Nashville. And they're like, oh, my God. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you do? I'm like, we're in the tech field.
Right.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I'm like, telecommunications. It's pretty high-tech stuff.
Yeah.
I said, not to brag. I said, but we also host a podcast. Oh, my God, what's going on? I'm like, it's right here. And they like, click into it. I'm like, so we left. Like 2 weeks later, I checked the sticks because you can see what city they come from all your downloads.
Yeah,
and it was like 16 Las Vegas, and I was like,
hell yeah,
yes!
It was all bartenders and strippers, guaranteed.
I don't think so. There was a British dude I met at the poker table.
Okay,
and then there was
maybe a couple of Uber drivers.
Right. That Egyptian guy that I made best friends with when I made that comment about that Tesla we got in.
Yeah,
I'd never been in a Tesla. And the doors,
they're wild.
The doors open up.
Suicide door. Was it suicide? Yeah. They had suicide doors.
Because I was like, had been drinking. I got in there and he was like, "Come on in, my friends, whatever."
Yeah.
And he closed, and I was like, "We don't need roads where we're going." He was like, "Dude, they're cool, man. It's eerie. It's weird being an electric car."
My
makes no sense.
My old business partner had one, and he's like, "Hey, you want to take a ride on my Tesla?" I go, "Yeah." And he gave me a ride around the block in it.
It's weird.
Like, dude, I feel like you're hovering.
Well, the dude was like, I was like, what do you think about it? And he was like, man, he said, the only cool thing about this is this. And he like stomped it, and it's just like, it's instant torque.
Yes.
It's immediate. There is no delay in throttle.
Yeah.
But he was like, other than that, he said, I hate it. He said, I hate the car completely. Mm. I'm not a big fan of electric cars myself.
Yeah.
It just makes me nervous. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
I think I had this conversation with a vendor. We went to dinner, and he had to drive from Kansas City in one. Actually, he had a Ford Lightning, the new ones.
Oh, yeah, those are supposed to be pretty cool.
I think the range on it was only like, I think they built it like 280 miles or some shit like that, which is not enough, right?
No.
So that's the thing with those cars is they're really cool if it's a commuter. If you've got to go any further than just your daily commute, it sucks ass.
For 110 grand.
When Tesla first came out, you couldn't drive across the country in a Tesla.
No.
Oh, no.
Because it's like, well, there's a ton of them in L.A., but what about the strip from L.A. to, whatever? Right. Nevada, Colorado, I don't know.
What's that big highway that runs in California? Like it's an awesome motorcycle road. Even that main highway.
The 5?
I think so. Norman Reedus did it on that show ride.
You're talking about the PCH?
Yeah.
Pacific Coast Highway?
Yeah, so you couldn't even do any of those on those cars. I mean, I'm sure there's plug-in stations, but that whole thing would make me nervous.
But yeah, it's like if you're, a Tesla and I think the Lightning, and they all have like these like trip analysis things or whatever. So if you're like going across country, it'll tell you like, oh, you got to make a stop here, and charge here for 40 minutes, charge here for an hour and a half. And that seems like such a pain in the ass.
Wow. Yeah.
It's better now. Obviously, there's more charging stations, but still, it's like, I think they need to get to where they're like a 500-mile range standard. And
they'll never do that.
But they'll never get there.
They'll never do that.
No, because not only that, price point.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, they make it to where it's only a small few people. Like when I first heard the name Tesla, I was like, I'm never going to look into it because then they were like $100,000. Even a friend of ours has one. He spent $80,000 on it.
Well, they also don't.
Or he ordered it.
They don't have trucks, and then they came up with a truck, and it looks weird as shit.
Yeah, I'm going to stick to a gas guzzler.
Yeah, I got it.
Sorry,
me too.
Can't do it. Can't not have it. I can't do the electric thing. I like electric bikes, dirt bikes. I'm all cool with those. Leaf blowers. Whatever. I can't do the vehicle thing.
Yeah.
I'm not, and that's when the activists are always big on it too. Like, that's going to save the world. I'm like, do you see where they have to dig up to get those batteries?
Yeah, there's like little kids. I mean, even our phones, right?
Yeah.
There's like little kids in Africa.
Yeah. And you got to dispose of them.
Yeah, and now I finally got the iPhone, so I'm part of the child exploitation club. Yay.
It's okay. Your old phone was too, brother.
Yeah. That's what That's where
these mics are from.
It's like you can't escape it if it's like the lithium or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like it's crazy.
And like they have the strip mines for that kind of shit. Just completely decimates the like local like the local ecology or whatever.
Oh yeah,
that shit.
Yeah, I just read this thing the other day. There's it's like a pile of old clothes in the desert.
The fuck?
Yeah,
like a massive pile.
A massive pile,
almost like
a
landfill.
No, it is a landfill of nothing but there's no trash. It's clothing. Because it's like, well, what do we do with all these shirts that don't sell that have, like, think of like, okay, whatever. Who lost the Super Bowl last year?
Oh, you're talking about because they have to print all that stuff.
Yeah, so they print it ahead of time. So like the Eagles lost, so they had like Eagles won the Super Bowl shirts.
So those are all most likely like it's like in a land. You can look it up. It's like it's in the desert somewhere. It's wild.
Imagine like somebody comes across that and it's like they stepped into like an alternate reality because it's all the shirts.
Yeah, it's like a portal.
Fucking with people.
Yeah,
like.
What is this?
They won here. They lost where you're from.
Yeah.
That'd be trippy as shit.
Oh my god! Imagine just being like on like two edibles deep on that and seeing some guy. You're like, holy shit! What?
Oh my god!
Oh, there's like a bunch of poor people in the desert that they come across it and they're wearing like this, the wrong stuff all the time.
Well, that's what it is.
But you'll start seeing them show up on social media and like, what the hell?
Yeah, but that's why you see like a bunch of like folks wearing like, it's like, why does this dude have a random like Mickey Mouse t-shirt? Why is everyone in Disney t-shirts? And it's like, well, it's because they throw that shit out.
That's a good point. I never thought about it. Anytime you look at those videos of like starving Africans or whatever, they're wearing like our merchandise.
100%, dude. Yeah.
And it's like I always assumed that it was just like missionaries or whatever like brought shit over, but yeah, you're probably right. It's just
probably. I mean, I imagine those companies donate that stuff to go to less fortunate folks.
Well, they had a special last Super Bowl where people were like, if you're curious about what we do with these clothes, because everybody was like, well, if they lose, like none of that shit's going to be worth anything.
Yeah,
and they're like, we donate it.
Yeah,
so they'll donate to third world countries because they don't.
That's just kind of wild.
Exactly. There you
it's
go.
It's not a waste either. So
yeah,
right. I mean, that's probably. God, thousands and thousands of shirts, if not close. I mean, more than that probably.
But do you think those shirts are worth anything? Like, it's like, hey.
That's a good point. Because remember how, like, a knockoff of something, like, if it's printed wrong, is worth more money than a real one?
Yeah.
I need to go over to Africa.
Third world country.
I need to go to Africa to try to get a 1999 Super Bowl jersey where the Titans beat the Rams.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you had one of those.
We had that game.
Like, if you had one of those,
I think
someone's
99.
like, dude. Where did you get that shirt?
Yeah.
You're like, because, I mean, honestly, the people who work for that company, a couple guys are like,
hey man.
Dude, throw an XL aside for me real quick.
Put it in the lost and found.
Yeah.
Right
exactly.
Here.
Yeah.
I would do that. 100%.
I would too.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be fucking awesome.
It's like when you steal food, when you used to work fast food.
Yeah.
I used to steal food.
I would have.
Yeah, because like they would throw it out. Like we had a manager when I used to work. Have y'all ever worked fast food?
No, but I used to dig in dumpsters and get food out.
I haven't done that.
You hear about like Krispy Kreme like had this whole thing I saw on social media to where they like throw out their old donuts and people legit go and like dumpster dive in. It's like full bags of donuts. Yeah,
we'll get to that. I want to get to that in a second.
Full on.
But you've never worked fast food for real? I know you've had a shit ton of jobs.
No,
me neither.
I've never done
worked fast food.
I worked in restaurants.
I worked at Backyard Burger.
I didn't know what Backyard Burger is. It sounds awesome.
It was awesome. It was like a little. It was not just because I worked there. It was good food.
They were good.
But no, like that was like my first.
Is that Clarksville thing?
Yeah. Well, it was in. They had one in Hopkinsville too.
Yeah, it was kind of like
you can't forget Hopkinsville.
Yeah, it's kind of like a chain.
It was a chain,
right? Yeah.
But anyways,
but a very small chain.
The owner there wouldn't let us take food. Like we had food when you would keep burgers for chili the next day or whatever, but you couldn't. They would all be thrown out. He would literally go like this in front of you and dump it out. So I would sneak it in the hot trays. I would sneak chicken tenders and stuff. It was broke as fuck. I was hungry.
Why would he throw it away? Why would
he's he's a pure asshole.
But hey,
he was the worst.
Hungry?
He looked at us one day and was like, "If I could make y'all work Christmas legally, I would." And I was like,
he's a good leader.
Yeah, great leader. So the business failed.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, and he rode a Ducati. And he was about 500 pounds.
Damn.
I think the reason why Backyard Burger failed is because it was too good.
You think so? We ruined it.
I think right.
Really
I think it's because
all black Angus
whenever
burgers,
you go through a fast food joint, you're
chili, peach cobbler,
veggie
burgers. If you were weird,
dude, there was a place around the corner that was freaking hopping tonight. Little bar right there on the corner.
You talking about O'Neill's?
Yeah.
O'Neill's.
I was like, hey, dude.
I forgot you haven't been to Clarksville very much. I forgot about that.
No.
Yeah. So O'Neill's is like you can't.
So
you smoke, but like inside, you can go like part it. You can part the Red Sea in there of smoke. It's so thick.
Oh, you can smoke inside?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
But the outside deck is where it's at. They'll do like live music stuff. But yeah, it's been here forever.
Yeah, it's a good. Yeah. It's like a divey place without being like dangerous.
It was packed.
Nobody fights.
It's a good spot.
It was packed.
A lot of old people. It's cool.
Yeah, dude. It's a good spot.
A lot of stories in there.
I know.
Fuck. I've only been once.
I have not been there even since I moved here, and I could literally.
What are we doing now?
Walk down the street. I could get smashed and then walk back.
Up.
Yeah, I could get smashed and then just walk back.
Well, we have a couple of cool bars like that one, and then probably the Tap Room.
Yeah,
where my wife used to work at Black Horse, which we need to eat there sometime. It's probably the best restaurant in town. The best.
What are we doing now?
I know. Fuck this show. Let's leave.
I know.
Like I said, we'll have to go hit that up. But what is this diving in the dumpster? Hold on a second.
Okay. So
before everyone on the show, so if you haven't listened before, Gage makes custom badass hats.
Make hats.
I've brought this up before on the show. It's Daisy May Hat Co., but you've now changed names. So
yeah.
This is your chance for your plug.
Okay, so
plug it in.
I had to change the name of the company. I changed it to Three Horses.
Okay.
That company. And I got that from looking at a picture of Pharaoh's horses. It's like an old school, like really cool painting.
Yeah.
I've always loved it. And I was in the kitchen with like losing my mind. I had no idea what I was going to do. I got to see. Want me to just tell the story a little bit?
It's up to you, man. It's totally up to you. Totally up to you.
Give us a little background.
Yeah. So my company was called Daisy May Hat Co. And I was trying to trademark. I trademarked the lightning bolt on the side of the hat, right? So I'm like the only company that can do that. And then I was like, my attorney goes, we should trademark Daisy May Hat Co. as well. Great, let's do it. So we start doing that, and then there was kind of some rumblings of another company called Daisy May, and we weren't really worried about it because they made like women's blouses.
I
and
Googled
t-shirts
and couldn't find shit.
Yeah, well, they don't have any kind of content on the internet or really anything like that. So, we opened the new store right in downtown and inside the Fairlane Hotel. And Dustin from Bow and Bootwear, we're standing outside, like looking at the fruits of our labor. Like, all right, man, we open in the morning, like 11 a.m. This is sick, and we share the same attorney. So my phone dings. I look down, and it's my attorney. He goes, we got the cease and desist.
Shit.
You have until the 14th. You have to change the name or buy the trademark, or they're going to sue you in federal court. So I'm like, well, dude, I'll see you in the morning. I need to go home and eat this shit sandwich for a while. And I just try to like, that was the 9th. That was on the 9th. That was the night of the 8th. We opened on the 9th. The next day was the 9th. We had until the 14th. And so I was like, what am I going to call this hat company? I don't know.
It's a lot of pressure, dude.
Well, yeah, because it's this weird thing of like Daisy May was just my nickname is Daisy Mays, and that's what I was going to call the company when I first started it like 4 years ago. But I'd tell everyone, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Daisy May, cool, Daisy May, yeah, sick." So I was like, "Well, fuck, I'll just call it Daisy May."
Right.
So I was going to do that, and so that's what I did. And so I was sitting in the kitchen, and my wife was hanging out. We were kind of talking, and she's throwing out ideas. She's like, "What about this?" I'm like, "It's already named." What about this? I don't like that. Like,
sounds like we were trying to do podcast names.
Oh, dude.
Jesus Christ!
It was just this whole thing, and I kind of was filling on my phone, and that picture popped up. I was looking at that design that we have coming out, and it's from the Pharaoh's Horses, and I was like, Pharaoh's Horses Hat Company. I don't really know how to spell Pharaohs. I don't think that's very good.
It's a tricky one.
That gets weird. There's no F. It's PH. You know. Oh my god.
For fat.
Yeah. Right. So I was like, oh, dude, Three Horses Hat Co. And my wife was like, hey, dude, you are onto something. And I loved it, and she liked it, and I was like, I'm not going to put too much thought into this.
No.
I just need to go with it. I looked it up. There wasn't anything, and I did it. And I was kind of a dipshit. I didn't even like tell my business partners I was changing the name or anything. They knew about what was going on, of course. But I just kind of wanted to get the news out You know,
it was pretty smooth. I'll tell you that because I'm kind of
really because everyone else was like that was abrupt as fuck.
No, dude. Yeah. I'm already a label whore. Like I'm everybody's hype man quietly. Yeah, so like when you change it, I was on the page. I'm just like, cool. And that's when I texted you. I'm like, what happened? And you're like, it just happened. And then that's when you did the video. And I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Because you still had your lightning bolt. Like now, granted, I have to change all my shit around now.
I'm sorry,
but it's sorry. Okay. That's when you did your live feed, and I got there. And I was like, great. All my shirts are now shitty.
I know, dude.
No, they're retro. They're throwback.
They're retro.
The throwbacks.
Well, that was the crazy thing was like I had to get rid of everything, and I just opened a brand new store, and so all the money was sank into the store, and I was like, oh my god, dude! Like what am I doing? I was like, freaking fire sale. Anything with Daisy May on it was like half off.
Oh, dude, genius!
It was nuts, dude. I sold out of, and I waited till because I needed stuff for the store.
Yeah,
of course.
And I was like, all right, well, and so I'd waited till like the night of the 13th, and that's when I was like, guess what? Everything's on sale. Everything's half off. And dude, we sold out of so much stuff.
That was the first time I've never bought anything from your store.
Because you already have everything.
I had everything.
Yeah, you already had everything.
You're a chump.
Well, I did. I bought. Like when I met Gage, the next week I bought everything.
Everything.
Like I bought everything in the store.
Yeah.
Well, it's great because Josh always just cruise over and just be like, "Hey, dude," I'm like, "Yes."
Okay, so all right, I need to. So I want to establish something. So first of all, I've heard his side of the story about how you guys met, how he slid into your DMs.
This has been a big topic,
essentially, right?
Okay.
And so I make fun of him a lot about that because he just slides into people's DMs, just trying to whatever.
All the time,
just a total people person.
I did Joe Rogan 2 weeks ago,
but I want to hear like your side of the right, like he's going to see it. But I want to hear your side of the story. You're just wherever you're at, you're chilling, and then you get like a random DM from some dude.
Was it on Facebook?
Was it Facebook?
So what happened was
I've already heard your shit.
Well, no, but this has been
okay.
2 years or what? 2 years and
3. Yeah,
you just had your birthday in June.
Yeah,
but it's been over a year because I met Gage in person on his birthday because I brought him decals I had made.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so it was on Facebook. That's when I listened to you on the Black Rifle podcast.
Yeah, with that.
And I was like, so this motherfucker lives in Nashville. Like this is, I got to meet this guy. I couldn't help it.
Okay.
That's when I messaged his Facebook page.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And then I got a message back and he was just like, hey, whatever. And I was like, is this really like Gage or is this like some fucking employee that is just like answers his stuff?
I remember that. I was like, no.
Because I didn't know how big you were. You don't know. I didn't know how big. I had no idea because I was like, if he's on the Black Rifle, he's probably like big time. But I was like, what? I was like, I'm going for it. I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And that's when you were like, no, it's really me. And that's when I was like, holy shit. I saw you on the podcast.
So I imagine you're like pacing the kitchen like you're about to ask out some girl.
I was down here. I was on the couch and I was like, I looked over and I had a ding and I was like, holy shit, he answered. Let's see if it's really him. And I was like, that's when I was like, oh, dude, I saw you on that podcast. It was fucking cool.
That's like, probably the last.
I was like, I'm coming there. I'm going to come hang out. I want to see the shop. Like, I gotta be involved.
Yeah, it was awesome. That's what the last message I ever sent on Facebook. I've been locked out of the Facebook. The Facebook page still says Daisy May Hatco. I can't log in to change it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been locked out of Facebook for like 3 years. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's whatever.
But yeah, so so I wasn't super weird about it.
Okay, all right. Well, see, I wanted to hear from his side to see if.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it all worked out. Right?
I mean, I try to write back as many people as I can.
Yeah.
You know, some people are weird. They just like send emojis, and you're like, all right.
Well, so what happened was I ended up going to the shop.
Yeah.
And that was before you had the big sign. Like it was
early on.
That's when Pony was there.
Yeah.
So I walked
Pony's
in.
back, baby.
Yeah. I walked in and you weren't there. So I walked in and I was like, fuck. And he was like, what's up, man? I was like, well, and that's when your wife was having some surgery, having some stuff going on.
Yeah.
So you weren't there. Well, you had called while I was there. And I was like, hey, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm glad I drove here for nothing. Yeah. And you were like, just tell him I'll be there next time. Give him some stuff. I'm like, okay. So I bought like this. And then we finally got to meet.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it was just whatever. It's history, I guess. But yeah, sometimes being, what do you call it? Creepy in a way?
No.
Pays off.
I don't think so. And I think you and I are a lot alike. Yeah. In that of just reaching out to people, right? I mean, I have there's a clothing company in town called I'm a Gene Willie, right? They make like these pants and the shirt. It's like made in the U.S. It's really killer stuff. They're in 12 South.
Okay,
bought an old service station.
I love that little section of town.
It's
cool.
so
great
great.
Restaurants.
Yeah. So the owner is a dude named Matt Edmondson. He and his wife own the company. He is like this really cool painter.
Okay,
he does really cool art. And probably like a month ago, 2 months ago, I just wrote him. I go, hey, dude, can I bring you a cup of coffee and steal 45 minutes of your time? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I did. And 45 minutes turned into like 2 hours.
Yeah. See, what I run into, the problem I do, because you have a contagious personality anyways. I've said that before. But see, you also, like, create stuff, like, bring stuff, like, artistically to the table and stuff. Sometimes I feel like I'm just a consumer. So when I reach out to certain people, they're probably just like, this motherfucker probably just wants
You're a
something.
hype man, dude. I've told you this.
I know,
dude,
but
that's
I
what you need to do.
Well, I try to tell people, and I've even told...
You should have gone into PR or
I
something.
forget who I forget,
God, dude, you would have been great.
I forget who I messaged
like
one
a
time,
promoter?
and I had to tell him, I was like, look, I don't want any money from you or anything. I'm not trying to get... If you throw me some stuff, whatever. But I said, but I'm not after your money. I don't need anything from you.
Yeah.
I just truthfully want your attention,
want your
and
essence.
I want a small piece
I want your energy.
Yeah, I can't help it. That's what I want. Because I messaged Twitch one time.
Are you an energy vampire like on
so.
What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah. But just not as weird.
Right.
I messaged Twitch.
Yeah.
And he actually messaged me. We've
That's
talked
cool.
a couple of times.
That's awesome.
And I've messaged his buddy, like, so as I've taken multiple breaks from Instagram, like my own battles with it, it's still like I've talked to so many different crazy people that I never would have spoke to. Even if it's not them, I think it's them. Like I've gotten pictures, I've gotten messages from people. Like it's cool.
Well, there's just something about asking people when you know what you want, right? And just being like, "Hey, I want this." It's like, okay. A lot of people don't do that.
No, well,
they beat around the bush.
I've made the joke. I've told Zach too, and they bust my balls about it. I was like,
I tried that with women. They don't tend to like that too much.
So I was like, I feel like I would be friends with these people, but we're never going to meet. Like, I see these people online. I'm like, that's me. I'm part of your clan.
Right. Dude, well, a lot,
we just haven't met.
It's funny. A lot of my really dear friends don't even live in the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Tim Duba from Protect, right? I love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a rad.
Is that good stuff?
Yes.
I see you hype all the time.
Oh,
I thought about
love
trying some.
You should.
What's his name? Navy SEAL guy from Bike. What's his name?
Trevor?
Yeah. He's a big advocate of it.
He works for Protect now, yeah.
See, I have Arma. It's one of my sponsors for supplements and stuff, and they do hydration packs and protein and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But I've thought about trying some of their stuff.
Dude, do it. It's fantastic.
I may have to try it.
It's like there's just zero bullshit in it. You know, it is what it is, and that's it. And the people who run that company are incredible. I mean, dude, Tim came to my shop, and I wasn't there. I think
Here, you can use that for your ashtray.
Oh, thanks, dude. I think Rooster was sick or something like that, so I was home, whatever. But he came to the store, you know, hung out for a minute and left, and I missed it, and we jumped on the phone. And then we were just like kind of like phone buddies for a while. Like, hey man, you got 5 minutes? Can I just pick your brain? Yeah, sure,
dude.
And then he comes to town with his wife, and we all went and got dinner and hung out. And he introduced me to David Wells, the baseball player.
Yeah,
Boozer. Is that his nickname?
I think so.
Yeah,
that sounds right. I've heard the name. I can't put a face to it, but I've heard the name.
He's killer. And so, and then David got me connected to SCI, this big convention I did, this like Safari Club International. A bunch of dudes walk around like fur coats, and they're like, "Hey, I just bought this rhino hunt. I want a cowboy hat." I'm like, "Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do." They got a
Let's
cigarette, like one of those big sticks, like the Cruella, and a monocle.
Yeah.
Like the Monopoly guy.
It's just like reaching out to people, right?
That's all I did, man. I just latched on. And then like the sponsors I have, like I've reached out to them. Just, you know, I'm like, hey, thanks for sponsorship, but I was like, I want to get involved where I can. Like, you know, I don't have this massive Instagram following, which I know that's part of the game. It is. Because, you know, people are like, well, look, you know, I'll do this, but I need to get something in return here.
Sure.
So I get it. But all the ones I've reached out to, everybody's been really cool. I've never had somebody that was like, hey, can you just fucking leave me alone? Like, quit messaging me.
Most people that want to like...
I see you laughing about it.
Well, most people who want to help your brand, it's like, well, why would I want to push this person away? This is really cool. This is someone who's passionate about my brand.
Right.
And dude, here's the thing. You can't make anyone as passionate about your dream as you. That's impossible. You know what I mean? Even to a certain level, right? You can have people who work for you that love your company. Like, dude, Chase, prime example.
I didn't know his name was Chase.
Yeah, dude, Pony is my right-hand man. I can leave the store. I could leave the store for a month, and I would have zero worries.
Full confidence.
100%.
He's a cool dude. I like the shit out of him.
One of the coolest cats ever, dude. He's great. You know, he's got a wild story. He'd be great for your podcast.
Speaking of, I did not know his name was Chase when I was at y'all's party because I was
everybody just calls him Pony Boy.
Well, I was strong. It was really tipsy. I don't drink very often, but they had incredible drinks. That guy, whatever that was, it's like 100 proof. I don't know what it was, but I was like. So I walked up and you were like, hey, this is I forget his name, I'm terrible at names, your business partner. Real nice guy, him and his
wife.
So I talked to him for a while. Well, then you were like,
Jordan.
yeah, this is Chase. And I'm like, hey, man, I've met him a dozen times first name basis, and I did not know that was him.
Yeah, well, he had a real funny haircut back then.
Till we got out. Well, we got outside, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "I'm so sorry, dude. I did not know that was you because I didn't know his name. I thought everybody it's Pony."
Yeah, he's got a wild story, man. He's a great dude, but
he's cool as fuck.
He's great, right? He's all in, you know. But with that being said, like, I live, sleep, eat, you know, the hat company. It's all I do. And to the point where my wife goes, you need hobbies. Like, you have to do something else, you know, which is hard for me because I have a really, you know, addictive personality. Oh. So I'm like hell bent on being the best hat maker in the world.
You seen the garage?
Like, I love the garage. Dude,
I'm
envious of your garage.
I had to downsize my hobbies. I had too many.
Yeah, you did.
And my biggest problem is time. Because we're in the corporate world. So, like, it's quite structured. However, like, of course. It takes up a lot of time, too. But, you know, when you get kids and stuff, too, you're like, I don't want to be a selfish prick. Yeah. Because I have a tendency to do so. But, yeah, I had to downsize a lot. Because I had to pick one or two things. Yeah. So it was like, because at the time I had street bikes, I had dirt bikes, I had skateboarding, I had this. Like, I have all the things still.
There's room. I don't remember that one. You got longboarding.
I have both.
You got to build a little mini pipe back here.
Well, I had a little track on pit bikes.
Yeah. No, I don't want that. I want a little mini pipe for skateboarding.
Oh, we'll just bring one.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to buy one and lug it over here. I think, you know,
I should. I'm not that good at skating. I can like cruise. I never did. I did like a little...
You'd be like more of a longboard guy.
I did like a ramp one time, like I dropped in.
Yeah.
Straight to the hips.
Oh, really?
And I was like, I don't want to skateboard anymore. I think I was like 13. It was terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh yeah. It was bad.
I love skateboarding, dude.
Now, I like to just cruise, like try to be the cool dad.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I picked up mountain bike and all that stuff, too, like in 2007. So I did all that, too. Anything on two wheels, I dabble.
Yeah, well, the videos we send back and forth to each other on Instagram are fantastic. A lot of like mountain bike wrecks where this dude just tumbled on a mountain and
crashes,
and we're like, dude, fire sale, that dude's dead.
Yeah. Well, we have another group.
You can tell your passion is dirt bikes because your every single reel is.
I can't help it.
Is that
I actually went? I was telling Kylie I haven't been in a while, and then I went. Because I do all woods now. I don't do any track ride anymore. I used to race for years. I don't do big boy. It's all woods. So, yeah, I'm a badass. Especially in these Crocs. But no, like I went by myself, went to Turkey Bay and Lambton Lakes. Well, I went like on a Tuesday. There's nobody there. Really? And usually you have to be careful because there's a lot of side-by-sides and Jeeps. Like you'll hit somebody head on. It was just me. So I put my headphones in. I was like, I'm just going to pretend that someone's paying me to be here. Yeah. So I just got the clip and I told Kylie I got back. I said, if I could bottle up what I just did the last 3 hours and sell it, I would be a fucking millionaire.
Yeah, you would.
It's incredible. There's nothing like it in the world. I'm telling you right now. Motorcycle riding is its own. You've done it with us, and you've dabbled too, Gage. But it's
maybe busting it up might be better.
What?
Like an orgasm might be better, or is it close?
I would probably take the motorcycle riding over,
really,
over
dude.
sex, 100%.
On our.
I said that, and she got so mad at me for saying that. She was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Sorry." I mean, I'm sorry. It's just it lasts a lot longer.
You ever tried combining the two?
Combining the two?
Combining the two?
Yeah, I should try that.
Blow your fucking head off.
Yeah, check this out. I'll like wiggle my little ass up on there. Get on top.
You're like in the air and you do a trick and you nut at the same time and you just die.
And the bike's already leaning, so it's going to be a weird angle. Yeah. So, no, I haven't tried to combine the two.
When we were on our honeymoon, there was we went to this like really cool spot in Georgia, and they had a 4x4 track. So I took the truck out. Because the truck comes stock. It's lifted.
So much fun.
Stock.
It's the best.
Dude, I was giddy as a schoolgirl.
It's addictive.
It was the best thing in the world. So as soon as I got home, I'm like looking for trails to like, where can I go? Where do I do this at?
You can go to Turkey Bay where I ride.
Let's go, dude.
You can take trucks.
Can you really?
Oh yeah. It's a whole there's the way it's I don't know how many acres it is, but it's everything. Like when I went Tuesday, I was the only dirt bike out there, and then I ran into 4 random trucks, like a little party of people. One was a Suburban, a Tahoe, a pickup truck, old, and they were you just cruise. You can do the main trail, or you can do as crazy as you want, or just as chill as you want.
Really?
But yeah, you can go. It's $20 for 3 days if you want to. You can do camp overnight. I do the $100 a year package if you go enough. But yeah, you can bring. I wouldn't bring my Tundra.
Why?
But the first time, it's just, I'm still paying on it's huge, and the smaller mid-sized trucks are better for it, in
really?
my opinion, I think. Because
I'm still paying on my truck too, but
it makes me nervous to bust my shit up, and I don't work on my own stuff, so I'll be out there mad as a hornet, pissed off, and they're all upset and shit. But when
you will bust it up because you're going to want to go and really do it.
So I went when I had my Tacoma. The first time I ever off-roaded was, I want to say 2 years ago. We went to Chattanooga and did whitewater rafting for my buddy's bachelor party.
Yeah.
Well, I had never been truck really like off-roading or rock climbing or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, he had a Tacoma as well. He's like, I'm going to take you on some old fire roads in the mountains to go try it out. I said, let's do that.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like you said, you get giddy and it is addictive.
Dude, when you drive across like a little creek, you're like, oh my God.
We came up on a hill and it was just rocks. And I was like, I'm about to be one of those magazines.
Yeah.
Like someone needs to get up there with a bullhorn and start fucking screaming.
Yeah.
So we did it and I got to the top and I was like, you're going like 10 miles an hour, if that. And you're like, this is the greatest thing I've ever done in a truck.
My older brother's into that kind of shit. He builds that kind of stuff. He builds rock crawlers down in there.
And I didn't do anything crazy.
Yeah.
But just like you said, a creek crossing, if the truck bows, I'm like, holy shit, hold on, guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You get all stuck sideways and all this kind of shit.
It's awesome.
Dude, we were, I was actually going to 12 South this a few weeks ago. It was like dumping rain. There was no one on the streets.
Yeah.
And I'd like take this like right-hand turn. I fucking stomped on my shit, dude. And I went completely sideways. I'm in 12 South.
You're like, nothing stronger than family. It goes other sideways.
I had picked up, it was funny, Chase was hanging out, and my wife was in Florida with our kids, so I was like a bachelor for a week. So I was like, dude, let's go grab some dinner or whatever we're doing. I pick him up. Rain. It's like raining, you know. We're turning off on this like main street in Nashville, and I was like, hey, dude, watch this.
Right.
Hold my beer breath.
Fucking stomped on it again. And just like, I was like, this is the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's the best, dude.
It's like this primal thing you have inside of you.
It's a guy thing.
It is.
Purely, it's a guy thing.
I mean, but maybe there's some women out there who
I'm sure
like to do it.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know?
I'm sure. One thing that always intrigued me that I wanted to get into, I think I might try to do this when we go out to Vegas. There's places that you could do this, but fucking dune buggies.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
jumping that shit in the
I thought you were going
desert.
to say the ranch. That's what I thought you were going to say. I didn't know.
If we have time. I might be if I'm not too tired. Right.
You're probably like, I've been thinking about this a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's this ranch you can go to. You can ride anything.
Actually, I think there's like 300 of them out there. But yeah,
it's a menu.
Yeah.
Have it your way.
But I'm going to be preoccupied. But anyway, but no, I want to do that. To me, I think the 4 wheels thing. I get the 2 wheels, and I definitely want to get into that. Whenever I started riding, my overall intent was to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I got to work my way up to it, and kind of a bitch, whatever. So, and I feel like I need to have a street bike first, and then that would be like a thing I can have.
It's not like it's hard to.
I think the 4 wheels thing is more of my speed. I like behind the wheel kind of thing.
I've had people try to like, we want to come with, and I'm like, you can. I said, but don't like try to do what you see other people doing. You just need to ride your own pace. Like, it's not a race out here, but like you can't help it.
I need the bunny trails. Or whatever.
And there's like beginner trails. There's wide ones. There's like if somebody wants to do it. I'm like Kylie asked me before, like I want to go with you guys. I'm like, I've been doing this like 19 years, so don't think. A year. It's going to take time, and I'm not pro by any means. But I'm just saying, like, it's going to take time to do the things you see other people do. So don't get upset when you see them doing some shit you can't do. It just comes with time. Because my daughter has a hard time doing that. She wants to do what we're doing. Yeah. But I said, it just takes time, hon.
It just takes time. Don't get me wrong. I started on those little Groms. In the fucking
we had
school parking lot.
We all had Honda Groms.
Love it,
dude. Have you ever seen those little 125 3-speeds? They're they're miniature street bikes.
They go like 62 tops.
Way.
So we bought some. Don't buy one. It's the biggest waste of money. So we bought some, and none of us had license. We rode these things dirty. I rode on the street for years without a license.
I just got my license everywhere months ago.
We ran from the police one day. So we got these little Groms. Yeah. So Zach got one, I got one, my dad got one, and then my brother had one. Well, we went to Green Hills from here on them.
Garrett never got one, right?
No. So. Yeah. No, he did have one.
Did he?
Garrett bought one.
Garrett bought one, yeah.
So their top speed downhill is like 52. Top speed. So we took from here, Highway 12, all the way to Green Hills.
And it started pouring rain.
So we get to Green Hills. I went to a barber shop when I had hair to get like this fancy cut.
Yeah.
I was like, we were visiting our buddy's time's girlfriend. She lived out in Bellevue. Well, we're visiting, and there's a big storm. Kind of like, it'll blow over. It did not blow over. The bottom fell out. us being us, I was like, well, I said, dude, we got to get out. It's just raining. We got to leave. I said, it's not going to get any better. We got to go. Dude, we got stuck in that shit for 2.5 hours.
Yeah. You can't go that fast.
Dude, you're like this. Like, I just had Vans on. We all just had, like, jeans and T-shirts.
Yeah.
And I even dropped mine in the street. Busted my knee and shit, broke my bike.
At the beginning of
in
the trip,
middle of the
when you were pulling
street.
out of the apartment complex, he just drops it, like slides it. The back end comes out from under him.
My leg.
You landed right on your knee, and it looked like you bounced off of your knee. You popped right back up. It said, you got out of there.
So we took off and filled up, and I was like, just so y'all know, this is going to be horrible.
Yeah. And we were just like street clothes. It was like jeans, T-shirts.
Why didn't you just go back to the chick's house?
That's what we should have.
We didn't do that.
That's what we should have done. But we didn't get fucked. You're stupid. Whatever. We'll be fine. Dude, we all I thought
this was like 5 years ago.
Hypothermia. It was so cold. We were so soaked. It was the worst thing. But anyways, long story short, those bikes are fun if you have a group.
Yeah.
But you can't go fast.
What we call ourselves, Grom Squad.
Grom Squad. Yeah. Then we all got big bikes, did that whole thing. But yeah, like speaking of addictive, all that stuff's addictive. Off-roading, anything to do with toys, I have a real problem.
Yeah.
We have an adrenaline problem.
God, I can't help it. And especially if I've told somebody they're like, well, you're just trail riding. I said, yeah, but I said, when you're like going between trees like 40 and 45 miles an hour, and you know that if you mess up,
you're gonna die.
You're probably gonna die or be paralyzed.
Yeah.
There's something about it. I'm just like,
that's what
I'm like, this is great.
That's what bull riding was for me in high school.
Yeah, I'm not ever gonna do that.
It was like just that. I just got to hold on for 8 seconds.
So did you you did? I know I saw your saddle and stuff at the shop, but so you did the full on big bull. This ain't no junior shit from high school. Y'all did full on. I don't know how it worked.
There's novice. I only rode novice. I got on a couple that made a well. That's when the bull spins. It's called making the well. But yeah, I mean, I rode bulls for 2 years. I wasn't anything amazing.
Still hardcore.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I was decent. The first bull I ever got on, I covered, and that's where you go the full 8 seconds.
Okay.
And then after 8 seconds, you want to obviously jump off. You don't want to stay on any longer than you have to.
Right. I'm going a minute. Woo!
Yeah.
They're like, you're actually not.
I watched one dude, this kid I used to ride with in high school. He broke this dude's bull where it was bucking, and the bull just stopped and started just walking around.
Just fucking tired it out.
Dude, and the bull was just and that cattle contractor ripped my buddy a new one. He would, because it's expensive.
Yeah.
Those,
that's a lot of stress on that animal, too. I would imagine. I could be wrong.
Maybe. I know. They're mostly just really uncomfortable because they have the cinch rope, which is going along, they have their nuts, and then their dick goes along the bottom of the stomach. So it's right in front of the back hips, and it just makes it feel uncomfortable. Really, is all it is.
All up on the shaft and shit.
That sucks.
Yeah, squeezes it
kind
of tight.
And then you got some dude on your back. Fuck, that sucks.
Pissed too.
Yeah. I mean, they train him to buck, But
damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I did for 2 years, and it was cool. I got really hurt. We were bucking out in the res in New Mexico. It's a place called Cañoncito. That's how you say it correctly.
Okay. It's about to get spicy.
Yeah. No, that's all you get. This cattle contractor out there in the res had all these bulls, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, it's $10 a head." We're like, "Fuck, let's go." My dad gave me $50. I was like, "Dude, because normally it's $20 a head where we were riding."
Yeah.
This cattle contractor named Mr. Morgan. So anyways, we're out in the res, we're riding, and he's like, "Hey, jump on this bull right here." He's new. He's a duck. He doesn't do anything. And a duck just means he just jump kicks, right? Doesn't turn back or anything. And so I was like, all right, cool. So I get in the chute, load up on him. The gate shoots open, and I immediately lose my hand, and he bucks once, and I just fall straight on my butt. And I was like, no, that was a waste of $10. And the guy's like, hey man, go through again. I won't charge you.
Get a mulligan. Yeah.
Let's roll him through, dude. Let's do it.
Settle up, partner.
Yeah. Oh, dude. So I get down. I get my wrap taken and everything. I'm ready to go. I nod. Chute goes open, and this bull goes out and he kicks 2 or 3 times, and then he just goes away from my hand. And I wasn't, because he kind of jumped up, and I was like, oh, he's gonna go into my hand. So I had turned my spur. like in to get it, and then he like went like the wrong way. So I just went completely underneath this bull.
Oh shit!
And he was just like kicking the dog shit out of me.
You were right next to the pinned up shaft.
Oh, dude,
we were shaft.
Dude, he let me know what he was thinking. It was terrible. But yeah, he like there's a video of it. My dad has it somewhere, but
we need to post that footage,
dude. I wish I could find it, man. It's awesome, but it's just like. It's hooking me. It's stomping on me. It's kicking the shit out of me, and I'm like crawling away. And then you see it kick me again. I didn't wear a helmet either, so it like kicks me like in the back of the head,
God,
and I just like immediately throw up and just pass out. And,
can you see that res guy like this? You're not getting your money back,
dude. So my buddy, my traveling partner. Was a guy named Vince. We all called him Hot Man because he had on his shaps. He had like big, like fluorescent flames that came.
How do you
up.
fucking nickname? You know, everybody wants a nickname.
Yeah,
you know that, right? Everybody fucking secretly wants a nickname.
Yeah,
but it has to be someone to do it just right.
Yeah, we'll get you one, man. We'll get you one. Don't worry about it.
I'll look for one.
So I'll look for one.
You can't give yourself a nickname.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, but I got to find a couple, and I'll be like, here, pick one of these.
One of these. Like somebody's like, put them out in the ether, and then maybe I'll pick them up and start saying it.
I'm like, I'm glad you brought this up. Check these out.
Yeah, check these out. Just pick one. Here's a list.
Take these for a spin.
Just pick one.
But my traveling partner like jumped off the chute and came and grabbed me. He was like dragging me into the chute, and I like wake up and I'm like, oh my god! And dude, stepped on my knee, my ribs were fractured. Damn. Like I was like, like I couldn't like catch my breath, and I drove myself home that day.
What a fucking badass.
It was like a 3-hour drive home.
You're throwing up.
Fuck, dude. And I was like, all right. And I got home and just like jumped in a cold bathtub. Damn. And I like just sat there and I was, dude, it was terrible. And I literally got on a bull every weekend after that for like 6 months. And every time I'd ride, I couldn't ride. I had this huge mental block. I had zero confidence. Like, none.
All you saw was getting kicked in the head.
Oh, dude, yeah. I would just be like, oh my god. And so I rode for another 5 months maybe or so after that. And yeah, dude, it was. One sec. Hey, will you grab me a kill cliff, dude? A kill cliff? Oh, yeah, I'm bringing some. Oh, thank you. Man, such service around here. It's wild.
Right.
But dude, yeah. So I would like get on every weekend, right? And dude, I'd get bucked off, and I just like, I still could not breathe at all, and I was like, man, I'm wasting so much of my dad's money. Like, this is not.
You're like a boxer that like got his bell rung once.
Yeah,
and
dude.
It's like after that,
done.
It's just easy. You just tap, and then you're out again.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Dude. I would get on bulls and buck out, and it would feel like I'm on the bull for an eternity.
Yeah. And
I would just jump off. I'm like, did I cover? And they would go, dude, you were on the bull for 3.7
seconds?
Yeah.
That's only the first time I had sex.
I'm like,
that's exactly what it was like. They're like, dude, that felt like an eternity. I was like, that was a second. That's all you got.
It felt awesome, but it felt awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, but then after that, I got, really into music and stuff like that. So that was kind of, the segue into, I was like, all right, well, maybe I think I'm going to do music now. I don't want to be a Pro Bowl writer anymore.
Yeah.
I did the same.
I feel like they have a very short lifespan or short, span of doing that.
I did the same thing when I thought I wanted to be a Power Ranger.
Fuck,
I don't think I should do this,
dude. I was coming back from work, driving up 48, and I was going to cross the bridge.
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't really think about this, but like there's fields that are still out there. I mean, they still grow shit out there, right? Well, I never really thought about this, but they get crop dusted. Have you seen that fucking plane fly around there?
Wait, where? What? Hold on.
Across the bridge when you're going across 48 and you're coming into Clarksville.
Salem Road and all that. Like if you're going towards like Food Line,
Hilltop and all that shit. Yeah, right. That fucking I was coming up the hill right next to Hilltop and about to cross the bridge, and I see this fucking plane right just like taking this wide bank, and he's really low, and I'm just like, oh, this dude's having like a little joy fly or whatever, and he comes down low, and it's just like steadily declining. I'm like, am I about to watch this motherfucker crash? holy shit. And so I'm like speeding up to like see it, right? Of course. So, and I was watching this plane so much, I blew through that red light. Didn't even notice it.
No. I'm a criminal.
I didn't even fucking notice it. And I like did a quick look like, okay, no cops. I'm fine.
Yeah, you're good.
Right? But,
almost killed someone, but I'm fine.
that dude, he had like a steep decline just going right in. And I was like, I was trying to get up to the bridge to look right to see if like there was like smoke and like a crashed plane or whatever.
And there was a bunch of white smoke.
Right. It was.
I was like, the dude died.
And then I saw I didn't see it. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then all of a sudden I could hear it. It just, and it seriously was like 10 feet from clipping the bridge. And it just went right over me.
And that guy used to bull ride.
And he cut that. He was spraying shit. Yeah, right. He was spraying shit, and he cut it just right before I was like, he's going to get this shit all over my truck. And then he come over and get banked again. It was the wildest shit.
It's funny you say that. Tuesday when I was going towards LBL, I was just cruising just like you were doing. And usually I call people if it's more than a 15-minute drive. I just can't help it. But I didn't this time. You should be proud of me.
Really?
All of a sudden, yeah, I did.
You went a whole 15-minute drive?
Hour and 5 minutes.
Hour and 5 minutes. You didn't call a soul? What did you do?
No, I didn't call. I didn't call. I thought about it for a second. I was
did you just sit there in silence? You listen to music?
I had music, of course.
Okay. Right.
But no, so there's a helicopter. I'm like, it's probably just life flight. I'm looking all of a sudden, I'm like, it's kind of low. That's really low. Holy shit. So I started to slow down so I get my phone out. He was crop dusting in a helicopter.
That's crazy.
He come flying down, dude, like some damn, someone said call him like Broken Arrow. I got pictures of Mel Gibson in my passenger seat.
Yeah.
And that thing comes over, dude, and just went, and then banked. I'm like, one of the guy works 6 months out of the year.
That dude was so close to me, he probably would have like, hey, I could see like, thumbs up, right?
Dude, on my way over here, I had to get off the Old Hickory.
Okay.
From 65 to cruise over to go up. 24.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's right.
So you have to go to 65, get up on Old Hickory, cruise over to get 24, then you go back up, right?
Yeah,
that's where I live.
I do that all the time.
So I'm on Old Hickory, and I'm about to go across the stoplight, whatever. Turns green, I go, and this frickin' Porsche, this dude's this frickin' like 911, just turns, cuts me off, looks at me and waves. Kept going. I was like, God damn.
You're like this? Fuck you. And you
stomp me. He's just like, yeah, watch this. Watch this. You know? But the best part was he was wearing this like...
One of your hats?
No. That would have been hilarious.
It was amazing. He was wearing this like houndstooth, like little fedora hat that you get from like Hot Topic.
Oh God!
Yes. There's actually the lead singer of AFI.
Yeah. Davey Havoc. Yeah.
Speaking of, I actually was just tooling to the music, whatever. And that one of the original like old school 2000s AFI song came out. I was just like, all I could picture was that music video where he had like that fucking hair like this. And
oh yeah,
it was one of their main big hits that went popular.
He's like Miss Murder.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, that song was good back then.
Yeah, terrible hit. That was a phase of Davey Havoc I wasn't a fan of.
Dude, it was really Edward Scissorhands.
Dude, yeah, but man, when they came out with "Sing the Sorrow," and they're like in the black tuxes, and the dudes are hardcore dancing, you know, like where they're like doing like the punching and kicking and stuff. Yeah,
there's nothing. That shit makes me so angry when I see those videos.
When you see the moshes,
it makes me so fucking mad.
Oh,
that
really?
Shit, I think it's hilarious.
Soul.
It's hilarious
because
there'll be a dude like standing on like the perimeter of like the mosh or whatever, and someone's just thrashing, and then he'll just catch a fucking just right hook right in the eye, and you're like,
so the reason I've never done it, so like I can't. I'm not sitting there having a good time. I want everybody to have.
They're definitely having a good time.
I want everybody to have a good time, but none of that to me looks fun,
dude.
I would rather basket weed.
I just want to.
Because the one time I've watched people do it, and it's always like, it just looks like a group of like, just, I don't know.
Neanderthals?
Or like a bunch of homeschool kids or like something.
Neanderthal, very scrawny little
they're like
dudes.
They're like buck 10, and they swing. And then like a friend of mine used to be real into it. One day I was just like, he was like, check this out. I'm like, it's cool, man. He was like, yeah, but this guy's a bitch, and he's doing it wrong. I said, he looks just like you.
Yeah.
So how do you know you're doing it wrong?
Well, dude, I'll say this. So,
which I know you've seen this.
Yeah. Okay. So I have, you know, in my past profession, I was the lead singer of a metal band.
What was the band name?
It's called To Speak of Wolves.
To Speak of Wolves. Okay.
My first band tee.
I'm into it.
My first band tee.
I was. I love that, dude. I've played shows like I'm not like all over the world. It's not. I did a lot in Canada. Did a lot in the U.S.
Hey man, international. Really That's international.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
But dude, the hardcore like dancing, whatever you want to call it, in Albuquerque, where I'm from, is unlike any other. And I mean, we grew up going to like these hardcore shows and metal shows, and there's these dudes there that would just fucking throw down, and you're like, that looks lame, but man, they do it really, really well. And then you go to like,
do it.
Yeah, and then you go play like Chain Reaction in Anaheim, right out in California, and you're like, this place is famous for this. These guys look stupid. Dude, there was one time I was in high school.
Your windmills are weak.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, probably like one of 10 dudes who listened to like hardcore and metal and rode bulls.
Yeah.
So I'd always wear my cowboy boots to shows, like all the time. And there's slick bottom cowboy boots. And one time this kid came over. I was standing like on the edge of like the pit, Mm-hmm. This dude fucking hit me in the face so goddamn hard that I slipped in my boots and fell on my ass, dude.
Fucking
See, that would happen once, and I'd be like, I hate this genre of music. I'm never coming back.
No, I went and socked that dude in the back of his head as many times as I could.
Yeah.
See, I was like, fuck that guy.
I can't get into it. Like,
yeah. Well, we're older now, dude. Now our bodies don't work that way.
Like, I feel like I'm in better shape than I was in my 20s. But I was like...
Yeah, you look it.
I went... You like it at what you see? No, so...
He works really hard at it.
Like, at the tattoo shop I go to, there was a girl there. She's one of the artists. And I was like, Aaron, where's she been? Where is she? She broke her arm. Like, tattooing? Like, fuck, she's heavy-handed. What do you mean? She's like, no. She said she went to a show. I said, is that one of them, like, emo shows? Like, where everybody's mad and shit, and they spin around, and they like... She was like, yeah. I was like, fuck, she broke her arm? So her other friend was there, and she's like... Yeah, she broke it. So I saw her again. I was like, are we going to be doing any more shows soon?
Oh, no.
We're out of fucking work? What's happening here?
This is your tattoo artist?
One of the artists that was working there.
Okay.
No, my artist is like, she's too old for that shit. She's like, I'm not going to that. And she's our age, too. And she's like, no, I'm not going to that.
Yeah.
No way.
Really funny if like that like aspect of concert going like caught on to other genres of music. Right, like whatever you're like a Taylor Swift concert, and like you had just a bunch of like 13-year-old like white women just start thrashing.
Right, hold my purse.
They're thrashing to get those tickets, baby.
That's pretty much. Yeah.
Dude, Chase went to Atlanta.
It was $7,000.
Girl. He got the hookup. His boy had a box or something. I don't know. So he got to go for free or something. I don't know.
Bastard.
I know, but he was like. Dude, that is like one of the best shows I've ever seen in my
I've heard that
life.
too, man.
Really
and I'm not a Taylor Swift fan because I think it gets the whole thing.
She does it for me. I don't know what it is. Something about her, she does it.
She's overhyped. Her shit was catchy back in the day when we were like in high school.
I'm not even talking about like, music wise. Just like her like aesthetic, her whole look, her whole thing. Something about it. I don't know.
I'm not into it.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
No thanks.
You can have
Halsey. I'm into Halsey.
Really?
Oh yeah.
My buddy's on the Beyonce tour.
Fuck.
He's working that tour. He's like the main camera guy.
No
who,
shit.
like, on stage, like, he only films, I guess they only all film Beyonce, but, like, he's Beyonce's camera guy. So, like, when she's out on the catwalk, he's, like, he's walking.
Yeah.
Like.
Not a bad place to be.
Dude, no.
You know anybody that's, like, working with Dua Lipa? Because I would sell my house to get that hookup just to be right next to Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa?
Yeah. He's a big fan of Dua Lipa. Yeah, he's got a sweet spot for her.
Yeah.
I got one from that girl from Euphoria.
I'm into that Romanian princess.
What's her name? Sydney Sweeney?
Yeah.
And she likes those drinks that I like, too. Bitch.
What's that, beer?
I actually don't like beer. The buy drinks.
Says the guy who's drinking a beer.
Yeah,
it's one. You know how long it's been in that fridge? I'm surprised it's probably expired. I saw him, I'm like, I should get one, too.
Like, fermented again?
Well,
right.
Last time before I drank at your get-together, it had been 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
And the time before that was Vegas, May of last year.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah. I took 6 months off, completely, like, sober.
It's not my thing, dude. Like, I got friends that, like, they're like, I just had a long day of work. I'm like, I'll just have a cup of coffee. I just don't get into it. It has to be something going on.
Oh, I'm full on just social now.
That's how I do. Like,
I don't do.
When we go to Vegas, I'll probably have a couple of drinks, but it won't be. I've never been blackout. Like, I've never forgotten anything I did.
You haven't lived.
That's what I've been told. They're like, you're a bitch.
Don't do it.
So, I mean, like, I don't know. I just can't. I don't need one just randomly. I can't.
Yeah.
I guess I'm old in that sense. I'd rather just have a cup of coffee.
You know, if you end up hanging out with my buds from Hendersonville, they're going to try to fuck you up.
Everybody always says that. They're like, we're going to get him hammered. And I'm like, you have 2 kids.
Yeah.
You're going to be out before me.
Yeah.
Nice flip-flops.
Doubt it.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Don't play.
Doubt. Yeah, but the thing is, it won't take much. So
no, it doesn't. I'm a cheap drunk, but I'm also have a lot of control. Like I'm not going to be like, let's keep going.
Well, yeah, sure.
No, because all you're doing is sucking happiness
from the next day. That's pretty much it,
dude. When I was in my bachelor week, I ate 2 edibles in one night. Like I ate one. Mm-hmm. They're like 10 milligrams, not very much. And I was like, man, this has been like 45 minutes. Something's happened. I'm going to eat another one. I ate another one, dude. And I was just like, holy God.
Did you take a shower?
No.
I didn't.
Oh, no, those feel incredible.
They do. Dude, I saw every water drop.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I told Kylie, I said, I think I've been in here a week.
Yeah. Showers when you're...
I felt like I was in an Herbal Essence commercial.
Yeah.
Like I was that girl under the waterfall.
Yes.
For 2 weeks.
Yes.
I told her, I actually told her, I said, I'm never getting out. Like you can't stop me. And then when I peed, I thought I was going to pee for a year.
Yeah. Well, dude, you're so relaxed.
I was just like,
you're so relaxed.
Dude, I melted in that chair. And then like, what's funny is when I finally after I ate everything.
Yeah.
I fell asleep. I became one with my recliner.
Yeah, dude, that's when your body gets heavy.
It's warm. Oh God! When I woke up, I thought I was being born again.
Yeah,
I was like this.
Yeah,
I'm coming out of an egg.
You were like Neo popping out of the pod.
I was just like Neo with the tubes and shit in my back.
You really see, like you've never used your eyes before. Like,
yeah. And then a soft-spoken black guy was like, "Be careful, we're helping you." Yeah, so they took care of it.
He had kind eyes.
Yeah, he had kind eyes.
Welcome to the world of the real.
Yeah, yeah. I woke up and had a tube and shit. Yeah, that's what it was like, dude. And it's unreal. It was crazy. Yeah. It's trippy as shit.
Yeah,
but there's no hangover.
No. I shouldn't say. I felt kind of groggy the next day. I felt a little groggy. I was like,
somebody was like, "What do you think?" I'm like, I'm just gonna say I probably wouldn't do that again, but I would probably do it again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I would. Yeah. If I knew we weren't going to get fired for it,
yeah,
I would.
One of these days, I'm going to have a fucking job where they don't give a shit, or I'm going to work for myself. And
I've had that same argument,
and I'm going to do drugs whenever I want. You know what I mean?
I don't want to do anything.
I'm just too worried about it.
Yeah,
but once in a while, on vacation or something, like when we were in Vegas, wherever we go, if you're just by the pool, dude,
who gives a shit? Dude. I know. I feel like eventually, maybe not in my working lifetime,
probably,
but I feel like eventually, the entire country, or at least most states, are going to be like, and also companies, because I feel like you know how companies are kind of having to acquiesce to people that are wanting to work from home now because of COVID or whatever.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people tried to get people.
I say I don't know that world, but yeah.
But tons of people were doing work from home during COVID, and then COVID basically was over, and then nobody wanted to come back to the office. So actually, I was reading this article about it the other day. The corporate office space market, right, is tanking entirely.
Oh yeah, because all those buildings,
all these buildings. So people build these high rises and stuff, expecting a return on their investment by selling office space, and it's just crashing. It's just going in the shitter. So I think in the same way is that you're just going to have, as states decriminalize and make legal more and more substances, then it's going to be harder and harder for businesses to staff their business.
Dude, I mean,
if they have a no tolerance policy,
you can go to those CBD stores, quote unquote CBD stores.
Yeah,
it's just straight up THC.
It's straight up,
dude. The edibles I buy says THC on them.
Yeah, we're not hiding anything.
It's okay,
right?
Really,
right?
This is that one's gonna. Yeah, you're gonna ride the lightning on that one, Bubba. Have fun. It's okay, great.
Right.
You've seen Grandma's Boy? He was like, I got the Frankenstein, I got the Green Bomber, all this shit. And he was like, this will make you feel like you shit your pants. I'm like, I just want some weed, bro.
I just want some regular shit.
I don't want it. Have y'all watched Tom Segura's new stand-up on Netflix?
Oh, God, yeah.
So I laughed so hard. But when he talks about when he did the edibles with Joey Diaz,
with
200 milligrams.
Yeah.
He said, you're going to see the devil.
He said he couldn't open his eyes.
That's what he said. Are you ready to meet the devil? He's like, I'm looking at him right now. And he was talking to Joey.
He said he couldn't open his eyes.
Right.
I was like, that whole bit, I could not stop laughing. When his mom took him.
Oh,
Please don't kill me.
The last
don't
bit,
kill me, Tom.
Thought his mom was trying to. He thought his mom thought that he was trying to murder him or whatever. That was so funny.
That was funny as shit.
Dude, and then he was laughing, which was just making it worse. So she thought it was funny.
He said his nervous system was shutting down.
When we were at our wedding our reception, right? That we did our dinner thing.
The one at the.
No, the other one.
Oh, okay,
we did another one, where our families came and everything.
Yeah.
Pony and I sneaked off to the parking lot and he had like an edible like chocolate. I was like, give me that. And he had a joint. I'm like, give me some of that too. And dude, I was like,
celebration of life.
There's a picture of he and I together, and it's like our eyes are as red as the devil's dick and barely open, and we have the biggest smiles on our faces. We're like,
he's like, dude, my allergies were killing me,
dude. And there was a dude there, and he was talking about like buying a house or something, and I was just like, the whole time I was like, oh my god, and I was like, yeah. For sure, I know it's crazy. The market's crazy. I was like, "Oh my god, dude!"
You're like, I'm a bit of a. It makes me feel hazy.
I know. I'm like, I'm about to die right now.
I didn't get to go to that either. I had to work, but I was bummed out I missed that. But dude, I was like, "Fuck, I miss everything."
No, you came to the one.
Oh, I did the other one. Yeah. We went. Speaking of crazy people talk, we went to a reception party.
Yeah,
and I got drunk, and there was somebody giving a speech.
Oh shit!
Well, I was just like,
you started giggling, didn't you?
Oh, I couldn't. Dude, it was quiet. This dude was rambling, and I was just like, this is lame. Dude, Kylie's like this. Stop. Well, then I look over, and her friend's husband is like, I looked at him, I was like, this sucks. She was like, you need to stop. I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Dude was just going on and on about like life and climbing fucking rocks, and I'm like, this sucks.
You'd be the guy like in Wedding Singer was like, you suck.
Oh, dude, yeah. Give me time. Yeah, dude.
I haven't watched that movie in a minute. That movie's incredible.
I love that movie.
It's so good.
Dude, he's so good.
Even when he's not, he's good.
That was his peak right there.
You think
100%.
so? Dude, I thought
Uncut
Uncut Gems was incredible.
Well, yeah, on his dramatic side, yeah, that was definitely. But like his comedic side, I think like maybe Big Daddy was like his
Big Daddy, Happy Gilmore,
good one.
Big Daddy's probably his last hurrah.
He had like that streak though for like 5 years,
man.
Yes.
Well, Grown Ups,
just bangers.
I like Grown Ups.
100%.
Yeah. I think Grown
Ups is good. Grown Ups is kind of a return to like the Big Daddy-esque kind of comedy style.
Because then like Norm Macdonald, he had like the whole group back on that one.
Oh,
yes.
You know? It's all of his buddies he's kept employed the last 20 years.
There was that one movie, like his first drama he did called like Rain on Me or Rain Over Me or something like that, where he kind of plays like a...
On the spectrum, kind of.
Isn't he?
Talking about he's like depressed or something?
Yeah, but like his like family died or something like that. It's like something really hardcore.
Yeah.
And then he was in that weird movie that I can't remember the name.
There was one that was called Punch Drunk Love, to where he played. I think that was like his first dramatic turn.
Okay.
Where he was maybe it was something similar. I can't remember what that was.
Let me look it up.
And then Spanglish, I actually kind of enjoyed most of it because
nobody trying to bang his hot maid or something.
Well, I kind of was into the hot maid. I think I have a weakness for Latinas. I think I
and Asian women. Myself. You're weak on some Asian women.
You think Asian women too?
Yes. I think it's because you like Chinese food so much.
Maybe right. Damn. Just I'm not gonna lean into that. But I definitely Latina women.
I will. There's a great line by The Weeknd.
Yeah.
Who I love. I fucking love The Weeknd. He has this line. He goes, "Got a sweet Asian chick. She go lo mein."
Oh,
that's hard. It's cold as ice.
I like that.
Fucking awesome, dude.
You're like digging that,
honey. Can you be Asian? So I can use that line.
I heard that I dig the Weeknd as well, but I heard that there's that show that he's in right now, The Idol on HBO.
Oh no, I don't dabble. Look,
I heard like if you like The Weeknd, don't watch it.
I heard it was terrible.
It's bad, and The Weeknd apparently is like so uncomfortably creepy on that show.
Really?
That it's like it will change the way you look at The Weeknd. Like you don't. So if you like The Weeknd, don't watch that show.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it.
I'm trying to see that movie y'all were talking about.
I remember Punch Drunk Love.
Punch Drunk Love.
That's fucking hard to say.
He was in Deuce Bigalow, Little Nicky, Joe Dirt, Concert of New York City.
Dude, Little Nicky was great.
It was good. Master of Disguise, Mr. Deeds. Mr. Deeds wasn't good.
Mr. Deeds wasn't bad.
The only thing,
family movie.
It wasn't
the only thing I like about Mr. Deeds
was good.
The only thing I like Mr. Deeds was his like butler dude that had like the frostbitten foot and it was all black.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever.
Yes.
He's like, that foot will haunt me in my dreams.
Yeah.
And he like hit it with like a fire poker. And he's like, I can't do shit.
Very sneaky, sir.
sneaky, sir.
Sneaky, sir.
Right.
Yeah, that dude was cool. I didn't know that was a dude from My Brother Where Art Thou.
Yeah,
he's in everything.
Yeah, dude. He's the one that he's also that line we say all the time. He was the agent in Transformers. Like criminals are hot. It's the same dude.
That's right. Sector 7.
Sector 7.
I only watched the first Transformers movie, man. I can't.
You're missing out, dude.
Really? There's so many of them now.
Because it's simple.
I don't know. Some of them suck. Like last night sucked.
Okay.
This last one wasn't that great either.
But it's just because it's big robots fighting each other.
Wait, like the Beast Wars one sucked?
The Beast Wars one, actually, I think it had more like interaction with the Transformers than just humans.
We don't want people.
The people suck. I wish they would just make one without people, unless they're hot, right? Just for a second. And then, which there wasn't really any. It was just kind of sucked. But you would think that it would be like all about the beasts or whatever, but they didn't really like transform or really do much until the very end.
The Maximals.
And I was just like, that sucks. The Maximals, yeah, it kind of sucked. I mean, the most prominent one that actually did anything like really cool was Air Razor.
Oh yeah.
Everybody wanted to see Optimus Primal do his thing, and he transformed at the very end, but it just, I don't know, it wasn't there.
Lacking.
It was lacking.
It's because Bay wasn't in there.
Probably.
He didn't do it.
Was it not Michael Bay?
I don't think it was. I think he produces most of them.
Yeah.
Dude, what about the strike going on right now?
Dude, I don't know.
Everyone's on strike.
I don't know. Like
I have like mixed feelings about
I do too. I'm kind of like, I don't want people to get treated like shit, and I don't know anything about the industry besides the basic stuff.
Yeah, me either.
Like most people from Hollywood are stupid.
I think their grievances are probably true. I think their grievances are probably
I think
correct.
so too. Yeah, there's some weight to what they're wanting to get out of it. I understand.
Someone brought up a theory about like this whole strike and like why it's at a standstill right now, and it was actually Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, I read that.
I did too. I read that too.
And I read that and I was like, I think he's onto something.
He's a pretty smart cat. He says some stuff that
I think he's onto something, and I was like, I agree with him. I think this is correct.
We should probably tell him what he said. What he brought up was the point of like they want the actors or something like that. They want these streaming services to release their numbers to see what their
they want to get like residuals off of it.
Sure. Yes,
right.
But what he said was he thinks the numbers are so low that if they come out and show all the numbers, the stock will tank,
right?
And then there's no shows, and then therefore there's no need for actors because everything the budgets are going to be gone.
Yeah,
and so they've actually caught some of this, like a studio heads or something, saying like. He's like, oh, no, we're going to hold this thing to the – like there was like a leaked behind closed doors conversation where he was like, oh, no, we're going to hold this thing out until they like start losing their houses and you know, shit like that. They start losing stuff. So I think the studios are going to just hold them out as long as fucking possible. Because honestly, I don't think that the strike is the strike, I think, for it to really matter – has to resonate with like the everyday person, everyday folk.
Sure,
gonna like get behind them.
But those people are so disconnected.
They're so disconnected.
Real life.
I don't think that it really. I think the majority of people in the country are like, I don't care.
That's how I felt.
Either way,
a lot of here lately in the last couple of years, the writing's been so shitty on everything, anyways, that I like. So I'm like, man, I don't give a shit if you lost your job. You suck at it.
I'm just like, please let Dune be done.
It is done. Dune is done.
Exactly. Dune is done? That's all I care about.
Dune 2 is done. They're post-production. That's all done.
Good.
Thank God.
Oh, we're the same way. We're big Dune fans here.
The thing is,
love those books. Love the movies.
These writer strikes have killed shows in the past. Like probably the most notable one. Last time they had a very big strike, like right in the middle of like the TV season or whatever, there was this show that I've never seen it, but apparently the writer strike killed it. Jericho. You know what
I remember Jericho.
About? Yeah. Apparently, it was a fantastic show, like ahead of its time or whatever. The writer strike killed it. Like had 2 seasons and it died.
That was like Lost, right? Lost was like 8 seasons, but like seasons, whatever 4 and 5,
which is a mess.
It was like dog shit. So you're like, what is going on?
Exactly.
Last year, I actually finished Lost in 2.5 weeks.
So good.
I had never watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I told Zach, I was like, I'm gonna try it, dude. 2.5 weeks, and I got done. I was like, now I know why.
It's amazing.
Everyone was so.
Mm-hmm. What did you think of the ending?
I liked it.
I did too.
I liked it.
I did too.
Everybody got pissed off.
Made sense.
Somebody at work was like, "That ending is terrible." I'm like, "No, it's not."
See, I think what it was
perfect.
When you had a different reaction to the ending of Lost than I think maybe a lot of people that were watching it as it was happening.
I had no
because
build up.
Right, because you didn't have this like long periods of like speculation and all this kind of stuff. You were able to have it fresh in your mind, the things that happened in previous
seasons. It's like watching
a
big ass movie.
Right.
Yeah.
To where you was like, okay, you could kind of actually step back and see it as a whole.
It was
and
hardcore.
we were like when that was coming out, we were speculating. There were so many theories flying around.
Oh my God.
That I think a lot of that stuff got in your head, and so you had this expectation when it came.
I took notes.
The ending.
Yeah, what?
He did.
So
he fucking took
so
notes.
I overanalyze like films and movies and stuff, but like this one I was like, all right, I don't know the ending.
Okay.
I said, I'm going to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people said they could guess within one episode the ending. I was like, whatever. So I took notes throughout the whole show on notebook paper.
Yeah.
So I could piece together. I had like circles.
You have demons.
I wrote down stuff like I was like, I'm going to figure this shit out.
It gets worse.
I'm
there will be a movie that we're going to go watch. He will read the synopsis of the movie
Not
before
every
we
time.
go watch it. Not every time. But some movies he'll read the synopsis before we go watch.
Well, what happens is I love movies and television, but if I know I can't go see it, if someone brings it up in conversation, I want to be ready.
Okay, so
I read all the current movies out if I'm not going to go see them, so I'm ready.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't help it.
So my buddy Andrew, we call him Swampy, he played guitar in my band.
I've met Andrew.
Yeah. He plays guitar for like Maddie and Tay now. It's insane. He's obsessed with horror films and scary movies. I can't do it. So what I'll do is he'll be like, dude, I just watched like Demon Baby 5000. I'm like sick. So I'll go read the synopsis.
Yes.
And then I'll be like, so dude, when Sarah gave birth to the Black Bible, what, and he's just like, oh yeah, dude, listen, this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, sick, But it's a thing of like, my buddy's into this.
Piece. Yes.
I want to be in the know with him because I know that he's passionate about it, and I can't help it. Right? I want to do it. Yeah. I get it. I totally get it. So I don't watch scary movies. I can tell you a lot about them and like these movies,
love scary
but
movies.
I can't. Oh, dude,
last time I watched a scary movie was in theaters with him, and I jumped in the theater. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I grabbed his arm. I just get so involved. Like I can't help it. I want to be in it.
Dude, the last movie
it was The Conjuring.
Oh yeah, that sounds terrible.
Fucked up.
It was the Dirty Nighty part where she
Dirty
was like,
Nighty,
she was up on the fucking dresser and she jumped down in the.
I think it's called a buffet
or whatever. It was a wardrobe, whatever.
Dude, she was up on top like a witch thing. And this girl's like, looking around, all of a sudden she's like, and she jumps off.
One
and
of
I'm
those
like,
unexpected,
oh,
like you didn't think she was in the room kind of thing. It was like freaky.
Dude,
there's a scene there too where it's dark and like, have you ever seen The Conjuring?
No.
She's in a stairwell. They buy this old house, of course. It's an old house. It's got to be haunted.
Old farmhouse,
but it's giving me chills.
It's got like a lynching tree out front.
Right before they got there. But there's a stairwell and it's dark. Well, she hears like something going on. She has like a match, and all of a sudden they play this game with their kids. She has they're like the Duggars. She claps her hands, and like the kids will clap, like, come find me.
It's like Marco Polo kind of thing.
All of a sudden, like, it's silent, and all of a sudden, a hand comes out of the dark and claps, and the light goes out. And I was like, oh my God, we're all going to die. Dude, it is a
Did
great...
she die?
No. She gets possessed. It's fucked up. Crazy. But there's a scene where she's doing laundry, and the sheets come off the line, and it hits a body. There's someone standing there. And it's draped over them, and then the thing flies up and hits the window and falls off the house, and someone turns and walks to the window.
Yeah. Oh my God!
I'm getting chills right now. The spirit like went into the sheet or whatever. It was fucking crazy.
That sounds awful.
I love that because I actually kind of got chills a little bit.
I did too. That sounds terrible.
It's just so good. Reimagining that scene.
I can't.
There's 3 of them.
No, I don't care. I don't want to.
You're going to watch it.
I won't.
It's so good.
I'll message Dawn. I'll be like, you got to watch this.
She won't do it either.
Damn it.
That's why I love her. I found a woman who doesn't like scary movies.
Okay.
Kylie
doesn't either.
We'll do like Meth Storm.
So have you seen The Exorcist?
Oh yeah, a long time ago. And I was like, fuck that.
It's still fucked up.
That's terrible. I don't know why anyone gets enjoyment out of that. It's weird.
It's not enjoyment. It's pure fear.
Exorcist, was it New Beginning? With Stellan Skarsgård in it? Where he actually went to, it was in Africa?
Yes.
You remember that shit?
The kid gets eaten by hyenas.
He gets fucking ripped apart by hyenas. That fucking scene
Have you seen
up.
I sent you guys and the boys. I think I sent it to you. I don't know if I sent it to you. I won't now because you don't like scary movies.
You sent me something scary and I looked at it. I was like, nope.
I sent you. Okay. It was the trailer for the new Exorcist movie.
Yeah, that's what you sent me. Bro. I was just like, yeah, I'm not Josh. Josh doesn't know.
I didn't know.
I'm not going to watch
I didn't know. Yeah, dude. That looks fucked
Is it a remake?
No. So it's it's rebooting the franchise because the mom comes back. Mm-hmm. She's going to be in it. So apparently it's Pazuzu is the demon from the first one.
Well, the girl who
Linda Blair played Reagan.
She got like actually fucked up. From making
and she got really hot.
Oh, so. She's hot now.
She was in that second
dead?
one. I don't know.
Did she survive?
No, but I think like when they're
it was Linda Blair
when they're yanking her on the cable.
That's right.
Oh yes,
she
had to have
like back surgery,
and then she wanted to go through therapy.
What was
after the film?
I was thinking I was thinking of The Exorcist, but it was Poltergeist. The little girl,
she's dead.
Like that everybody like was involved in that movie. Like fucked up shit happened.
They say the set was cursed.
Yes,
between the 1 and 2, between the 1, 2, and 3. There's 3 Poltergeist movies, but that was the only film she was really in.
People had like freak accidents.
Oh, dude,
and shit.
Speaking of kids dying and all that shit. We recently watched All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah.
And, of course, man, I was like, I got to figure out who these voice actors are. And, Harper's never seen it. We're watching it. I didn't know the little girl who does the voice for that little girl in the first movie, she was murdered by her dad.
What?
I did not know that. Her dad killed her whole family and then killed himself.
I was like this. The voice actor in All Dogs Go to Heaven, the little girl.
That little sweet little girl's voice, she was murdered at like 11 by her dad.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, this movie sucks.
Do you know the guy who played the voice of Peter Pan, the Disney, like the first cartoon. Yeah. He died in an abandoned building, like in New York City, like homeless and broke, like with a drug problem, and they didn't find him till like a couple weeks later. Like he died just like no name. No, like it's like hardcore.
That was hardcore. He finally pulled himself out, but like people would come across the goalie from Mighty Ducks.
Oh yeah,
he got bad.
Dude, yeah, he was like on crack and stuff.
On crack, like on the street, straight up homeless dude, unrecognizable. But people would be like, "Hold on a second,
dude, the Mighty Duck man."
There was a dude I went to high school with who was like one of my dear friends. His name was Tucker, and we would like go skateboard together all the time. Yeah. I mean, like almost every day I'd hang with this dude, and then he like moved or something. I don't know. I mean, I left. I dropped out of high school and went on tour.
Mm-hmm. Oh no shit. Oh, that's right.
I dropped out. I dropped out like 4 months before graduation and like never got my GED because I heard a rumor that Dave Grohl never got his GED either. I was like, well, if he can do it, I could do it. Who? Right. Dave Grohl. Drummer for Nirvana, lead singer of Foo Fighters.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
I know Foo Fighters.
I'm not really a big music guy.
I know you hate music.
But dude, my other buddy Sam, this was like 7 years ago. He was like, "Yeah, I was in Albuquerque, dude. I was sitting there at a stoplight, and Tucker was sitting on the street holding a sign. Like the dude is just straight up like homeless. Yeah, that was the last I ever heard about him. Oh yeah, I mean, I can't. I mean, I've looked him up like once, but I couldn't find him.
It's fucking wild.
Obviously,
you just like these people like bump into your life or they're in your life for a certain period. And they just, go in different directions. You just never know, how things turn out.
That's the weird part of life, right? Is like when you meet someone, you don't know that's been the last time that you're going to hang out with that person. Like that's a weird thing to think about, right?
Yep,
that is crazy.
I have these. Sometimes I was talking to somebody about this, but like how you come up to like a stoplight or something, and there's another car like right next to you because it's like a 2-lane, and you look to the right and you see like this person. They're like, I don't know, doing something. They're like singing or whatever
on their phone.
Like they've got this. You just had like this interaction. Maybe you even like make eye contact.
Yeah.
And then you may never see this fucking person again. They've got their own little life going on. You have nothing about, but for just this split second, you have this like little moment. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is kind of wild to think about. There's other people out there that have own universes in their head.
Oh, their entire world.
Their whole thing. Yeah. And you're doing the same thing, and you know nothing about each other. You know what I mean? It's just kind of weird to think about because I think we're so centric on ourselves or whatever, you know what I mean? That you just kind of forget, like, oh, yeah, there's other people here.
At that point, I'm usually talking shit.
Right.
At that point.
At that point, I'm looking over.
That guy in lame-ass truck.
I'm judging hardcore.
Yeah, look at this fucking guy. Or I'm like,
nice shirt, dick.
Right. Or I'm like, damn, she's hot. I'm going to, like, drive next to her.
Oh, yeah. Right? Or I actually see a car, I'm like, oh, please be hot. Please be hot.
Right,
and I'll pull up, I'm like, oh, damn it.
Or my favorite thing to do is whenever someone does something on the road that pisses me off, I have to make sure I look to see what they look like.
Yes.
Because I guarantee you they're going to look exactly how I imagine.
Yep.
A fucking idiot.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Not hot.
So I always have to as I'm driving by, I'm like looking to make sure I get a good look at their stupid face.
Yep. Look at me.
We have a strong line on the show that attractive people make everything better.
They do.
100%. We're big believers in that on the show.
Okay.
Right.
And we compare that to restaurants, to whatever it is. Like, because I brought this up last episode. Kylie brought me this thing. She's like, look how cute this is on Instagram. I said, what? She said, this photographer takes pictures of people who randomly will enter, like, they have to be single, certain age group, whatever, and they enter in to do it's like a blind date, but she does, I don't know why I can't say that right, takes pictures of them.
Yeah.
As a photo shoot.
If they were doing, like, engagement photos. It's just strangers.
Yeah.
So, like, and she's like, look how cute. She's like, don't they look like they should be together? I said, yeah, because they're both attractive. I said, do you honestly think this lady's going to pick these trolls and do a photo shoot with them? Like, no.
Exactly. And she's going to advertise a couple of, like, trolls as her business.
Yeah, you can't put together 2 4s and expect an 8 showing. It's not going to happen.
No.
Like, she put together some, like, super attractive bearded guy and, like, some smoke show blonde.
Yeah.
Yes. Of course, their love story looks perfect.
Yes.
Right. And the thing is that she'll have these like super attractive people to where they have like they're single and they get brought together to do this photo shoot. It's like a meet cute kind of thing, but it's arranged. And then that's her whole business model. And then of course she wants to like sell it to more people. So the people that are going to be looking at that are the 4s and the 5s, like, oh, that can be me.
I can do that too. You know what she's going to do? She's going to throw your application in the fucking trash. She's like, no, we'll do a private session with you guys.
Or it'll be like, you're in your mind is you're like
your
a
own
4.
friend for this one, or
sorry.
Well, you imagine if you're a 4 and you're like, oh, she might match me up with like an 8 or a 9. But no, you're going to get another 4.
Funny if got there and she was like, sorry, we didn't have anyone in that category.
I'll reschedule you, sorry.
I'll have to call you back.
Going to do a solo shoot today.
The thing is, guess what? I quit.
Right.
I can no longer do pictures.
My did that. Camera's broken.
Yeah, we did that too where like you'll follow these pages on Instagram and stuff because it's full of attractive people. And it'll be like, you'll follow a page. Like, I'm guilty of it. I'll follow like different women, even dudes too. Like, I don't care anything they're doing.
Yeah.
But she's hot. So it's like, okay, cool. Like there's that one, somebody does woodworking. Mm-hmm. And I was like, the reason she has that many followers is because she does it with no shirt. Or she'll do it like in a bikini.
That's
I'm
a
like,
thing.
Yeah. Oh, anything's a thing anymore.
That's the reason I think you could.
Anything
that's the reason
I
think you legit could actually like have an OnlyFans that would be successful.
You could. Dude.
I think you could.
I don't know, man. Like,
I'm telling you,
it's the effort, and I'm lazy, and I'm like, and also you don't want the fear of rejection.
Well,
so like you'll do it, and then you'll be like, and then you're like, well, fuck you guys, that's fine.
Well, and you also know that like I'm going to make fun of you.
Josh.
That's true.
Right.
You're right.
And you also know that I'm going to like ruthlessly make fun of you.
My dad
so will your dad.
I'll catch it from
100%. But whatever, you're going to be fucking making bank. So who cares?
Why do you have to tell anyone?
Oh, I would. I can't help it. I'm a talker.
That's true. He would be like, yeah.
Oh, dude, I work in an
check this
office.
out.
Everybody's on a computer all day. Like someone's going to find out regardless. 100%.
Yeah.
You got to get out from behind a computer. I swear to God, you should honestly. You should have gone into sales.
You sure what Zach told me the other day?
You should have gone into sales. That would have like developed a like skill, right? You already have like the whole personality, the whole fucking go getter kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're very high energy to where you could definitely do it. You just got to develop some of the sales skills, and like that's right, exactly. But you seriously should have done something like that, or gone into like marketing or PR or something.
Dude, you've been a great like band manager.
So that was my goal in school for a while, was to do PR work. There was military first, and then I couldn't get in, and then I was like, well, I'm going to do PR. Like I want to work. That's when I got big on Malcolm.
Yeah,
because he worked for Alpine Star and all the mini war videos. I was like, he's just the guy that everybody wants to hang out with. He hangs out with all the racers, the riders. I'm like, I need to be in that bubble.
Yeah.
So I met him in person. I was like, I need this to be my job one day. And then it just didn't, I got involved in other things, whatever, yada, yada. But yeah, that was my whole thing, was like, I want to work for one of these companies that I really like and just be their hype guy. You just show up to races and like all the races will wear the product and be like, hey, throw these on real quick. And then I'll just wear the gear and I'll just walk around and socialize. Like I was like, this is the job.
Yep.
Then I fell into what I do now, and it just kind of you meet people.
I'm telling you to get out from behind a desk, and I'm legit trying to hire you to go behind a desk. Fuck.
I'm getting headhunted.
Yeah,
it's flattering.
I'm definitely headhunting you.
It's okay.
Just so we can like hang out, man.
And you're engaged. You're like on the whole other. You're like the creative side. You're not even in the corporate world at all.
No, not at all.
You're not missing a whole lot.
There
is some stability to it. I'm not going to completely knock it because it's paying my house, but like, there's days too. You're just like, that's why I had to get off Instagram.
Oh yeah, well, weeks. Think about this. I sell hats from $600 to $1,200, and it's something that nobody needs.
Yeah,
like
but
nobody needs.
Awesome.
It is awesome. I love it, but like nobody needs like a super expensive hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's expensive because it's my time. It's handmade.
It's quality shit.
Yeah,
but it's not like a commodity. It's a luxury item.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. So I mean, yeah, man. There's slow months and there's months where like it's booming. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was never. I mean, I've done those kinds of jobs before. Like I was into hat making. I was an apprentice, and then I had got fired for like the 5th time. My teacher was like, she's an animal. She's a wild woman. And touring picked back up, right? We kind of took a couple year hiatus and started touring like really heavily again. So it didn't matter. But yeah, when my band had kind of disbanded, I got a job at this place called Service King. And I was like in the detail department, just like detailing like washing cars. I just got off this
I detail cars.
Dude, I had just got this like 2-month-long tour, like the best tour of my entire career. And I was like detailing cars. I'm like, oh my God. And then they're like, hey man, you should come work in the parts department. And then it was like, oh, hey, you should be a writer and like write estimates on people's cars.
I
should. I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, wow, I'm wearing khakis and this like red polo every day. And it was crazy because my wife and
I'm a State Farm guy.
Dude, for real. My wife, we just had this conversation a few weeks ago. She goes, do you remember when you worked at Service King and you were wearing like khakis and a polo?
I can't picture you in a polo.
And I was like, yeah.
I cannot.
She goes, I thought that was going to be our life. I thought that was like the dude I was marrying was you. All right,
fucking
cool.
khakis
You're like,
guy.
Yeah, you're insurance dude now, you know. And I couldn't handle it. I was depressed. I was like dying inside. And then I went back and got back into hat making, and I worked for that lady again for a year and a half. And then I was like, all right. And then I started my company.
Yeah.
And it's been like that ever since. But
it's some wild shit.
Have you seen this stuff on? I saw it on Instagram today. Have you seen Lana Del Rey was doing like a shift at a Waffle House in Alabama?
I saw that.
So I'm obsessed with Lana Del Rey. I love her, and I can tell you what that was. Her and her sister and her brother were actually having just eating at Waffle House, and the girls. Like, one of the girls knew it was her. She's like, oh, my God, hey. And they gave her, like, a name tag and a bunch of stuff, as like, a gimmick. And she went in the bathroom and changed. This is what I read, at least. Like, I could be wrong. Could be full of shit. But she went and changed. And then she was just, like, walking around, like, hanging out at Waffle House, like, serving waffles and hanging out and shit.
Imagine, probably hung over. You waddle into a Waffle House, like, and you need some, like, hash browns. And Lana Del Rey, like, brings you some fucking hash browns.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Brings you coffee. You're like,
fucking nuts.
I'd go to that Waffle House every fucking day.
Just for the chance.
Yeah.
Is she working today?
Yeah.
Lana.
Yeah. I'd walk in
Lana, you here?
Dude. Have you heard her song Chemtrails Over the Country Club?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it's like one of my top 10 favorite songs of all time.
Okay.
It's fucking awesome.
I'll check it out.
I love her. I think she's amazing. I think she's one of the most talented artists of our generation.
He's not a music guy. By the way, Zach hates music.
No, I don't hate music.
He hates music.
We got to clarify this. This drives me nuts. I don't hate music. I like music. I'm just not a follower of music. Like I would any other, like movies are my thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Right. I just don't. I don't have like I can't remember like songs and band names and stuff.
But
like
you
that.
don't have music playing randomly throughout the day.
No, not really.
I have music on 24/7.
But I have been trying to incorporate more music in my life.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Just because I do. I mean, it does make
it sound like fucking short.
Right. I know,
yeah, really sorry. I had to push play.
Well, I know because normally, like on my drive, now that I have this like long commute, I would normally listen to like fucking podcasts or whatever, and they can be, they're great too. But it depends on what I listen to. Like sometimes I'll listen to like a political podcast or like Rogan will have somebody on that's talking about like fucking doomsday or whatever, and so to like just get you in the dumps.
Yeah.
And so that's not a good way to start your day. So I was like, you know what? Let's just try for this 55-minute hour drive that I got. Let's just listen to some music, and it's usually some upbeat shit. And I feel better by the time I get to work. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like it's like a mood resetter, I guess.
I got through spurts like that. Like I'm listening to a book right now.
What are you listening to?
It's called The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross.
Okay.
It's
So like Holy Blood, Holy Grail?
I don't know what that is, but it's like all about how they're like, it's like the animascaria mushroom or something like that. So if you look back in the Bible, and it's like Adam and Eve ate an apple, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, really, they wrote that stuff on like, deer skin.
Right.
And it was translated 1,000 times.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
It's wild, right? But what they really think what it was this like, I believe it's called the animascaria mushroom, which looks like an apple, and also makes you trip your fucking balls off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all about that, and then it's a lot of like, I know, weird stuff where they're like, yeah, so really what this symbolizes is like, there's like the holy veil, and like the priest would like have to like wear like a white robe and have like a rope tied around him and like walk through the veil to enter like in the presence of God, which was like a very like Old Testament kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, like the different like level chambers of the temple. Or
yes.
Yeah.
So really, what that was like, they're like, yeah. So really, what that symbolizes, like the priest is actually like sperm, because this word really means like like smothered, right? It's pretty much it's like
smothered.
It's like jizz, right? It's like it really stands for like yeah. So it's like when you go through the veil, that's like going like into the vagina, and then like when you get into the presence of God, that's like reaching like an orgasm.
Okay,
it's. I know it sounds insane.
It does.
I get it. It's the weirdest fucking book I've ever listened to in my entire life. But I was raised in like a Pentecostal Christian church, like a very small town, like shake, rattling, and rolling, like the whole thing. That was like my upbringing. So I'm 33 now. And I think over the last, 8 to 10 years, I've been kind of journey of trying to figure out what I believe in. And so I'm just kind of taking all this stuff in and kind of reading these books. But dude, it's a very weird and strange book. And they're like, hey, even when like the Catholic priest is walking down the center of the aisle, like with like the smoke and stuff like that, they're like, yeah, that's representative of like sperm swimming through the vaginal, like
that makes sense. Like the smoke is like a tail, kind of like
yeah. Well,
I was gonna say more about that, but I'm like, I'm gonna be quiet.
Well, and then they're like, and then when the priest gets to the stage and starts preaching the word of God, that's like the orgasm. Like that's the whole thing. Dude, they have ways they connect it, and they're like.
I feel like they could be a South Park episode.
Dude, honestly.
All over the little boys.
Yeah.
Swinging the chins.
Dude, it's wild, man. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting book. Like, there's been a couple times where I'm like, because they'll be like, so the way they spelled this in Sumerian was like SHUNPT7. And it's pronounced mountain. And it's just like, wait,
of course.
What
the fuck? Of course.
So there's a couple times they're like explaining the spelling of this, and I'm like, what? Hang on, where am I? What are they talking about? Because he just said like this like sacred witch whore, but also like the
blanket of jizz. I gotta get back.
I love me a good witch whore.
Yeah, dude, it's
hey, there's nothing wrong with a good whore.
But they connect it through all these Bible verses, and they're like, yeah, so we're in Isaiah chapter 4, verse 7, when he says this word,
you're like, what?
This word comes from this word in the Greek, and they got that from this text here. And you're like,
shit.
Oh, it's nuts, dude.
Zach and I were.
It's funny you mentioned that about like the someone who's kind of like did some like background research on like the etymology of words and everything. That it's very sexual or whatever, that whole thing.
Yeah,
I have a friend that actually has a theory. I know she's not read this book, but she has a theory that whenever Eve and then Adam ate like the apple, like the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, that her theory is that what that actually was is them having sex for the first time.
Whoa.
Like the fruit, right?
Yeah.
It was actually like they lost their virginity or whatever.
Sense.
And then they had carnal knowledge of each other, and that was where they kind of like had the knowledge of creation.
Yeah.
Right? Because then now she would have been being pregnant, had a baby. And so now they had like...
If he got her on the first try.
Right, and the whole thing about like the snake was saying like, the serpent, which was, embodied by the devil, was like, eat this apple and you'll like have all the power and knowledge of God or whatever. So if the fruit of the knowledge...
Dick.
Right?
Like, what?
Right, exactly. Return the favor. That's all I'm saying. Return the favor.
I've got your back.
Right.
You blow me.
Funny thing about my back, it's located on my cock. But her whole thing was like, it makes sense. Like if you, I think there's some points where we had this whole argument about it, but I think where she maybe misses some points. But I think it makes sense that it could be a very, related to sex, because like if you ate that apple and then if it was an actual apple and you were having sex, and the serpent is telling you if you eat this apple you have the power of God. Well, what's one of God's like primary powers is creation.
Yeah.
And so if you have sex, then you've created life now. So it kind of makes sense.
No, she's wrong. It was a mushroom.
It was a mushroom. Okay.
It was a blanket of jizz.
So, but what if it was like they were high as balls and then they banged it out?
Yeah.
So
no.
Zach and I were I was raised Baptist, and pretty much
Me too, yeah.
was too. So, and we were baptized together and stuff years ago. But like
in a horse trough.
Yeah, we question a lot of stuff too in our older age here. So like sometimes after episodes we'll do like what I call like a brief Bible study, and we'll talk about just crazy shit that sometimes people don't want to talk about. Like you're not allowed. Some people, I'm not saying everybody, but
I hate the sterilized version.
Some religious
of religion.
people, like you can't question things. It's just like, okay, cool. I'm like, whoa. I was like, it's okay to question things.
Yeah.
And you should. So yeah, we've had those same conversations too, especially as you get older.
It's like believe these things, say these prayers, and be good person. Good, and then, it's
I'm
a little bit more.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, well, it's a weird thing too when you have children.
Exactly, because as the man, you're supposed to be
spiritual leader.
The spiritual leader.
Yeah,
so you
figure it out.
Yeah, you're supposed to be like, well, I have to have my shit together, or how am I going to?
Well, my kids go to like a Christian little day school, right?
Yeah.
So my daughter's like, Dad. I'm like, yeah. She's like, God made them lepers. He gave them leprosy, and I was like, holy shit, what?
Yeah, so we read. Yeah, we have a Bible book. It's a great one. It's like 365 stories. It's a full cover to cover, basically.
That's one story a day for a year.
And yeah,
son of a bitch.
Sure, you could treat it like that if you wanted to. Matter of fact, stop. But we started reading that, and there's stuff. What's funny is, she's 7, so we'll read something, and there was one about Old Testament. We're getting through there, and multiple wives. And
weird shit happened back then.
Oh, dude. And she was like, Dad. I said, what? She said, he had more than one wife. I said, yeah, honey. I said, back then, this was a long-ass time ago, they didn't know what they were getting into. I said, but if you could provide for more than one, if you could provide a home, and then you could have multiple wives. She was like, that's weird. I said, it is weird. And it's crazy.
There was even rules to where, like, if your brother died and left his wife, you were obligated to take her on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's funny how and then she'll say stuff like that, or she'll be like, well, why don't that stuff happen now? And I'm like,
it does, honey. It's called Utah.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
It's called
the Mormons.
Utah.
They found some golden tablets. They got it going on out there.
Yeah. So that, I'm obsessed with Mormonism.
Are you?
Oh my God. I'm like
want to convert?
The Joseph Smith story is insane.
It's insane.
He was like, it's in the beginning. Like, you just watch the preface of the book, and it's like, and then they expect you to like read the whole thing, and you're like, really?
I had met these folks that came in the store today, and I'm like, where y'all from? They're like, oh, we're from Salt Lake City. I'm like, oh, cool. I like Salt Lake. That's fun. And they're like, yeah. And I'm always like, are you LDS?
You're like, come here real quick.
Yeah. They had like tattoos, so I could tell. And they're like, they looked at each other, and they're like, we used to be. We grew up LDS. I'm like,
yeah.
Let's talk.
Right.
Sit down real
Let's
quick.
talk about this. Because there's so much wild shit the Mormons believe. That dude was like, yeah, I got these special glasses, and I stare into this hat. That's real.
It's real.
That's real.
It's in the
it's
front
like
of
Scientology. That shit's real.
Dude, yeah.
But giant people in submarines, we're going to go off in our little uniforms. I'm like, you have lost your fucking mind.
But like Mormonism is like, it's like Scientology, but without the secrecy.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're open about it.
No. Like, Mormonism is still pretty secret because there are, like, you have to like secret like temple robes to wear.
Okay.
Like all white robes, and they're like they're I want to say they're called like the holy garments or something, but it's like underwear.
Right.
So you can look this up. It's like they have.
We should have wore some.
Dude, we should.
While we're doing this,
yeah, we should have.
We'll get some.
But you like have to like wear these underwear, and dude, it's like, and even like they. Like, even, like, with sex and stuff, like, what they'll do is they'll just, like...
Is this The Handmaid's Tale?
No, dude. What they'll do is, like, they'll just lay on top of each other, like, perfectly still, and their friends will sit in the bottom of the bed and, like, jump on it. Like, that's real, dude.
So, yes.
I didn't know I was Mormon.
I've heard this thing. It's called soaking. So apparently Mormons do a lot of soaking.
Yeah.
Mormon kids do soaking.
Yeah.
And it's where you just put your dick in.
Yeah.
And if you don't move... You're not actually,
a sin, baby.
You're not actually having sex. You're just literally like just soaking your dick in her like pussy.
Yeah,
like
you're just dipping the wick.
Right. Yeah,
okay,
right,
got it.
And so as long as you're not like thrusting, then it's not sex.
It's not a sin. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but I don't. They're jumping in the bed like, come on, bro.
And so I guess but that's not them doing it.
That's not them doing it.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know I was Mormon.
Dude, they
So come on.
Imagine me. I would be like, I would be at the end of the bed, just like jumping, like, like that's just got to be weird.
It has to be, dude. It has to be so wild to grow up.
I just
Mormon
don't like. It's like this. Like I just watched that documentary on the Duggar family.
Oh, dude, that was dark.
I talked about it last episode,
and they're not Mormons either.
No, that's like the whole. I was watching. I was like,
yeah.
I texted because my mom was like, "You need to watch this." So I texted her. I was like, "This is some batshit crazy stuff.
Yeah.
We were all fooled. Sorry. Like that, you need to watch it. It is some shady shit.
I'll do
It's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
It makes you feel for them girls.
There's
bad.
Oh, dude. Okay, you want to... Hang on. I'm going to piss. I'm going to tell you a real fucked up Duggar-like story.
Okay.
Hang on. Okay, cool. All right, dude. All right. So, I grew up in this town in New Mexico called Edgewood, right?
Okay.
Super small, super tiny. There was a family that went to the church I went to, okay? And they were like the Duggars. There was like fucking, I mean...
Thousands of them.
Dude, so many. So many of them. It was so insane.
Whole brigade.
It's nuts. And they're always kind of a little weird, right?
Yeah.
Kind of weird. Like, I remember
side hugs.
I remember the wife would pull out a buck knife and cut her nails in the middle of church. Like
it's not even sharpened.
Dude, she would straight up just cut her nails with a buck knife. It was insane. And, you know, it's like pretty poor, right? It's a pretty poor kind of area, whatever. But dude, their oldest son, like, just disappeared one day, and they're like, "Wait, where's homeboy?" Right?
He's on Rumspringa.
Yeah, no one knew where this cat was at, right? It turns out that okay, it's about to take a fucking turn. He had been. Are you going to record this part?
No, I'm getting some. What do they call it? Kids call it. I'm getting some clout.
You're getting some clout. You're getting some B-roll. You're getting
B-roll. Don't put the sound on for this one. Don't hear it. Dude, he was like raping his little brothers and sisters.
Fuck. Brothers and sisters?
I did not get that on here.
Yeah, dude. Like, yeah.
Damn.
And, dude, and the animals on their farm as well.
Fuck.
Dude, it was like...
Fucking everything but the parents.
Oh, dude, it was so bad. Like, I don't know what happened to that kid or anything, but it made you feel... Watching that Duggar documentary made me think of those kids.
Yeah.
Because it's just so fucked. You know, it's like such a heavy darkness that you're like, God damn, dude.
Yeah.
But we... my mom was like really good friends with the cop. This lady that my mom was like really like one of her best friends, and she was like, "Hey, you know that kid?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Check this shit out," and then told my mom. And of course, my mom was like, "You guys got to hear about this." You know, she told her whole family. We're like, "What the fuck? That's crazy!" But dude, like that stuff is out there, and it's terrible, and it's crazy when they make a documentary about this family. That you're like, oh, that family, look how
soft-spoken.
They're so good, and look at them riding in, like, all their 18-passenger vans they have.
Yeah, and they're like, look at them side-hugging, and there's no sinning in there. And then you find out, like, oh, by the way, their brother is sleeping with all of them.
I just had a thought. I was thinking...
His brain's blown out.
I just had a thought. I think that maybe it's like, at that point, it is irresponsible to have that many kids if it's just the two of you raising them, and it's not like a whole community or family thing.
Yeah.
You have that many kids because then... you can devote less like attention to each one.
It's funny you say that.
I mean?
Yeah. That's true in our, but the way it works there.
So that stuff like can get away from you because you can't see it because you've got like 30 kids running around.
Well, the way it works
and a TV show, dude.
And a TV show and all that.
The way it works in their umbrella of care is that the women are supposed to have as many as you physically can.
Right, exactly. Like they don't.
And then what happened is it's not even that. I'm not talking about they don't have a TV. It's like I'm a queen ant. I'm just going to lay here and pop them out. And then, but like, they had to assign the older siblings the kids.
Yeah, right.
So like one
older
girl
ones
was
take
in
care
charge
of
of laundry.
Yeah. But my thing is like that's the reason why it's irresponsible.
It is
because they're still kids.
Yeah,
they didn't even get to be kids.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Dude, you need to watch it. I'm telling you, it is some shady
and
shit.
Like, especially when kids get to those teenage years, like it sounds fucked up, but like. Those hormones that you have when you're like in
you talking when the wind blows the wrong way and you get chubbed up?
That shit jumbles up your fucking brain so bad.
And they're like, sex is bad. You have sex, you go to hell. And you're
right.
Like, whoa.
And then by telling them that,
what do I do with my boner when I'm 14? It's like, chop it off. You're like,
don't touch it.
Right. And you can't. Right. You can't even. You remember what was the myth back in the day? Is like if you jerk off too much, like fur was going to grow on your hands and your palms.
I was told you go blind.
I heard that.
You would go blind, or like you would get fur on your palms.
That's why I have astigmatism.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Exactly right. 100%.
Blind in one eye.
That's what they would talk about that too. And then like you'd watch Doug and they're like, "What is this courtship shit?" And then they go into that over the thing too. Basically, which is in the documentary, they were like, if a man, woman, whatever, the guy approaches the girl to the family, like, "Hey, I want to court your daughter." Basically, you can't say no. They're like, "It's no, sorry."
Yeah.
Like that one poor girl's story was talking about like basically her wedding night because they don't tell them anything.
No.
Her husband basically like raped her like 3 times.
Yeah,
she was like, "Is this how marriage is?"
Yeah.
Like I was just like,
well, dude, that's like a lot with the fundamentalist Mormons.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, hey, guess what? This guy wants to marry you. And she's like, that old man? It's like, yeah, but he's really big in the church, and that's going to be really good for our family. So
yeah.
You have to, you're 14, but you have to marry this 75-year-old
thanks for taking
man.
one for the team.
Yeah. Oh, dude. And that still exists today. That's still happening out there. Yep. That's still happening out there. And like, but, Mormons run Utah. Like, that's not going to change. That will never change, unfortunately.
They probably got massive ties into that whole state.
I just heard a thing. There's a huge lawsuit happening with the Mormon Church because they had, like, put all this money into an account, and there was $100 billion in this account the Mormon Church had.
Fuck.
And,
damn.
Yeah, and let's, like, the government didn't know about it.
Jesus Christ.
We're not going for them. They're like, they're marrying my daughter off.
Got that religious exemption.
It's all tax.
Yeah, dude, that's tax-free, baby.
Exactly.
That's how that Duggar family was too, bro. Because her dad, like, so the man is like the leader of his, it's a cult pretty much.
Yeah.
It is a cult.
But he kept all that money, dude. Those girls were like, she didn't get paid for the 7 years she's on the show.
No.
They're like, we didn't
never.
get a dime.
Never.
He kept all of it.
Nothing.
He's you need to watch it. He's an asshole.
The dad's a piece of shit.
He is. What's his name? Jim Bob?
I don't know.
Got 2 first names?
Fuckface,
Dick.
bullet head, bullet hole in the face, really.
That cult shit's crazy.
Dude.
We have a friend of ours that loves cults.
Oh, really? I love learning about it. I love learning about cults. I love it.
It's crazy.
That and, like, crime documentaries, drug documentaries. Yep. Have you guys seen Meth Storm? It's on HBO.
I texted you when I watched that Waco story on Netflix.
I need to watch that one.
And then you were like, then you told me to check out the other one.
Yeah.
Where the dude in the woods, like the government went after him and like he was
dude, buddy, that's Ruby Ridge.
That's it. I watched that shit too.
Yeah. That is insane.
You need to watch the Waco one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit
do you
crazy.
see this was a few years ago, but everybody was talking about it back then, the Going Clear, the Scientology documentary.
Yeah,
I watched that.
That was awesome.
All the shit that they talked about Tom Cruise, where they tried to I can't remember who the actress's name was, but they selected this actress. They were trying to
talking King of Queens? That actress that
it wasn't Leah Remini, but they were trying to find like a
new girl for
a partner
Tom.
for Tom, right? And it was going to marry her.
Okay.
And so they picked this actress. She was I think she was of like Pakistani descent or Indian descent or something, like half or something.
She hot?
Very attractive
Smoke
girl.
Yeah.
She was on. I recognize her from that show Homeland.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That's what she was on, and they brought her in. She was also a member of the church or whatever. And, she didn't know what was going on. She thought she was doing some sort of audition for, like a commercial, like PR, kind of spokeswoman type thing for the church. And so they're, dolling her up, getting her ready, bathe her and, shave her and all this kind of shit.
You're going to be dolphin smooth when we're done.
Pretty much. And they take her to this, fucking compound and, the main one where they would also, beat people or something.
Yeah, one of the buildings.
Blankets all these, it had these, barracks-looking things. Right, exactly. That was also their only food source. But, but they it was like a whole, presentation thing to where they legit bathed her, clothed her, shaved her, set her up, and then presented her to Tom Cruise. And then it was basically Tom Cruise was like Augustus Caesar, at the Coliseum. He was kind of doing his thumb they were kind of gauging his reaction to see if he was into it or not.
No.
He was a fucking emperor or some shit, and it was just
that sounds cool.
What the fuck?
You can pay for an experience for the day. Pay to be Tom.
In the back of my head, I was like, "Fuck! I should have been a Scientologist." But
you're is there room for y'all still and me members?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
You got a uniform that's going to fit me, sailor?
Yeah, exactly. And then he ended up marrying.
He wore a captain's hat, had a bunch of medals on his chest.
I love that dude. And then I think he ended up marrying Katie Holmes or whatever, but which didn't last very long. Anyway,
is she weird too?
Yeah, she was in the.
She's out now, buddy.
She's out now.
Yeah. Then she hooked up with Jamie Foxx for a little while.
Yeah. Which speaking of him, do you see he actually posted a video? Everybody thought he was like fucking blind and paralyzed, and I don't know what he went through. Apparently, he was not blind. He didn't have any paralysis, according to his video.
He's like got a really bad cold.
But he had something. I don't know what he
got that booster, bro.
Got
that booster.
That COVID, dude.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
He's dead.
So it's
not even him.
It's a clone.
It might be. It might be.
Knew it.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's rumors like that Joe Biden is a clone.
He's wearing a mask.
Right?
Bro, listen.
I think he might be because they like analyze like the one thing that does not like change on you over time is like your earlobes, whether they're connected or whether they're looped, right? And they look at old pictures of Joe Biden, and he has a disconnected earlobe, right? And then now they look at him now, since he's been president, they're connected. He has a connected earlobe. He's not real.
Dude, listen. When it's late at night, my wife's asleep, I roll over, pull up my phone. I got Reddit.
Oh, Reddit is terrible.
And all I do on Reddit is read the conspiracy theories.
We have
for like an hour, and I'm like, oh my God, we're living...
This is the Matrix.
I'm in the Matrix. Like, nothing's real, you know.
We have a friend of ours that is a Reddit junkie.
Yep.
He's in it.
I mean, it's...
Lil Miss Thing is a Reddit troll, apparently.
You talking about...
Yeah,
I know you're talking about.
100%.
I don't know who you're talking about, but listen, I love the conspiracy theory page on there. It's fantastic. I urge everyone to go and read it. It's killer, you know.
I've been on Reddit before. There's some wild ass shit.
You want to get real fucked up, you go to YouTube. Just punch
YouTube
some
is
conspiracy
wild.
theories.
What was that thing your brother posted on showed us with like those cartoons, like shitting in a bucket and eating it or whatever?
Yeah,
like,
that's
what the fuck
dude.
on YouTube?
There's some. It's like a kid thing. Like I'll show it to you.
It's fucking wild.
My kids don't have YouTube.
It reminded me.
I had to get rid of it.
Yeah,
YouTube
Kids
and I had to 100% regulate it to 4 things. I had to completely take over.
Yeah, you can't let the algorithm do its thing.
No.
Yeah, 100%.
It's shady.
Yeah, there's been a couple times I like walk in, I'm like, Chloe, what are you watching? She's just like, look at this. I'm like, let's watch something else.
Oh yeah, now she has like Mr. Beast, Coyote Peterson, and science class. That's what you get. Hey. Dad, I can't search anymore. I'm like, yeah, you never will be able to.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm your search engine.
I'm your search engine.
Does your daughter pretend she has a cell phone?
And her own channel.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We were just at the lake, and she was like, this is Harbor. Welcome to my channel. I said, you ain't got no channel. She had my dad's GoPro. She was like, but yeah, she'll pretend she has her own channel.
Chloe would just walk around with a wooden calculator and be like, yeah, so, hey, what's up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, that's Chloe's thing. So what's up with you? And I'm like, who are you?
She's like, this is my agent.
She's got like my old iPhone 3. Yeah. It doesn't work, and she'll have it. Yeah. She's like my mom that is. She's like, do you have a charger for this? I'm like, no one has a charger for that. But this, like, she came, and they say the wildest shit. She came in today, and she was feeding the dog, and she's like, Dad, there's a beetle in the water bowl, and he is struggling. I'm like, we'll get him out, honey.
Yeah.
She's struggling. Yeah. Or she was out here the other day, she had her legs up, and she was like, what were we were eating, I think she was eating what the fuck is that? The flavored ice shit? What is that called?
Popsicle?
Popsicle. Thank you. I'm sorry. A popsicle.
Really? That was what you couldn't figure out?
I couldn't figure it out.
Okay.
Sorry. I was like, the thing, I was like, but anyways, she was like, oh, this is delightful. I'm like, yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they say this crazy as shit.
My son's obsessed with with playing drums right now. So like every morning he's like, hey Dad, rock and roll. And like now we're like wheeling back off of like TV, like, okay, hey, let's do a puzzle with some blocks.
Yeah.
Dude, but for like a month straight, it was a summer, right? He's 2, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up, it's like Turnstile, Foo Fighters, Under Oath, Mastodon.
Under Oath.
Like we have all these.
I love Under Oath.
Dude, I sent a picture. We were watching an Under Oath video, and he's sitting on the floor in front of his drum set, just watching. I sent a picture to Aaron, their drummer, and I was like, dude, my son's obsessed with you, and it's super weird. Like, but we were running errands yesterday, and there's a little like music store next to the UPS.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, let's go in here, dude. You can go look at a real drum set, right? And he's just like, Dad, drums. it's a drum! And I'm like, I know. And he like picked out a pair of drumsticks that I got for him, right? And the guy's like, hey, dude, there's this like electric drum set he can sit on. I'm like, oh, great. And dude, I'm not joking. I stood there for like 15 minutes, which doesn't sound like a long time. But
it's for a
2-year-old to be on a drum set for 15 minutes was pure hell. And I had like turned around and like, I'm like filming my kid. I'm like, this is awesome, right? I love it. And then like, I'm like, oh, we've been here for a minute. We should probably wrap it up and go. I'm like, all right, let's go. He's like, Dad, no drums. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but we have other things we gotta do.
Your drums.
Yeah, I'm like, there's some things we gotta do. And I had to like pick him up. And, dude, you thought I was skinning him alive. He was like, Dad! Drums! No! Just, like, full-blown... You've seen the meltdowns, right?
Meltdown.
Dude, he, like, kicked off his Crocs. Like, I, like, put him in the Jeep, and I was like, where the fuck are these shoes? I go run back inside, and I'm like, here they are. And there's, like one Croc was over here, one was over here. And I was like, oh, my God.
He's driving the Jeep to the store, pissed off.
I was like, hey, thanks, guys. They're like, dude, take it, please.
Get your kid out of here.
Yeah, I felt really bad, but they were really cool about it. But, dude, that kid is obsessed with
They
drums.
don't ever want the fun to stop.
No.
Ever.
No.
They just don't. Ever. They melt down.
He walked in the house like, Mom! Drumsticks! And then ran immediately like to his room and started fucking hitting every little thing he could. He's like hitting us. I had to take him away.
What did they tell you they're going to move out? Harper's told us before she was going to run away.
Oh.
And I was like, that's fine, honey. Yeah, or this is the worst day of my life. I'm like, you're 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have worse days. It gets much worse.
Yeah.
Just wait.
It's called taxes. Okay.
Right, exactly.
Fucking sucks.
Just wait.
It's called Bill's job. Right.
Yeah.
And one day she was like, let me guess, you're on call again, Dad. I said, yeah. I said, do you feel that you like the way the house feels when it's hot? And she's like, yeah. I said, that pays for that.
Yeah.
I said, do you like when the water runs when you take a bath? Yeah. Well, I got to pay for that too, honey.
Dude, I picked up my daughter one day from school, and her teacher goes, hey, you make hats? I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, Chloe's talking about it. I was like,
great. What did she say?
She's like, my dad makes hats. And then, like,
my dad's the Mad Hatter.
I went and picked Rooster up, right? And his teachers, they're like, so you make hats? I'm like, yeah, I make hats. Yeah, Rooster says my dad makes hats. And I'm like, yeah, I'm glad that's like one of the 5 things he could fucking spit out of his mouth. It's like, my dad makes hats.
I love it when they fill the paperwork out, like, talking about their parents.
Yeah.
Like, Harper did ours, and she was like, my dad watches TV all the time. I was like, I sound like the biggest pile of shit.
My dad's eyes are red from all the drugs he does.
Right.
He makes hats. High as a kite. That's the best.
That's like, I've seen that picture of a kid like drawing like what like a recent event with their mom or something like that. She draws it out, and she was in the kid's mind was drawing that she worked at a department store or hardware store, and it was like a blizzard, and there was like one snow shovel left, and so a bunch of people were trying to like get that last snow shovel, right? And so she had the picture though when she drew it out, it looked like there was a bunch of people throwing money at her mom.
Working
the pole.
Working the pole. Good for you, Mom.
Oh, my God.
So, like,
that's great.
I love those misunderstandings with kids. It's so
the
awesome.
best. Kids are cool, man.
Kids are cool, dude. I never wanted kids either. Now I have 2. I'm always like, hey, you want to have another kid? I was like, fuck you, dude.
I have another friend that has 2 kids, and I was like, what do you think? He's like,
yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
He said 2, and I'm one of 3. And my mom was always like, she said 3's easier than 2. I said,
Well, that goes back to the cult thing. You see, there's always one to help out.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
She's one of 12. My mom is.
Really?
Are they Mormons?
No, Catholic.
That's it. Catholic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That makes sense. They're very
no TV.
No anti-concept or
no TV.
No, it's a joke. When you say when somebody has a lot of kids, you're like, you don't got no TV in your house? Or nothing else to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. I got you.
That didn't land, but it's landing now.
There you go. He's like, you're talking about a lot of sex. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Is that how it goes? Like, you're like, oh, you want to have sex? No, Fallon's on.
Yeah.
Get away from me.
Give me a second. Someone get into the bed and jump. I'm just going to leave it in.
Netflix and leave me alone.
Right. So making your hats, who's the big celeb here lately you've made one for?
Lately?
I know you did Zach Brown's.
Yeah, I do all of Zach's now.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, he's all, actually, I'll tell you this was really cool. When I was putting the new store together, my good friend Jason Stoltzfus, he's a photographer, right? He worked for like George Strait, Chris Stapleton, and now he works for Hailstorm, right? He's like their photographer.
Hailstorm.
But he worked for
Hailstorm.
Yeah. He worked for Zach for a long time, and he and I were in the space when it was empty. He's like, dude, you should call Zach. Zach has a bunch of cool shit. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So I'm like, hey Zach, I need cool random shit for my store. And he calls me and he's like, hey dude, listen. I have this bar in my house. It's in the garage. It's fucking awesome. I bought it for 18 G's. I'll give you a really good deal on it. And I was like, Bubba, I don't know what a good deal on 18 G's is, but it ain't me, dude. I'm like, hey, do you want a couple hats or like I can trade for, like something, whatever. And he's like, just go to my house. Just go to my house and go look at stuff and just grab what you want, take pictures and send it to me. I was like, all right. So in Zach Brown fashion, he communicated to no one that I was supposed to be coming to his house. So I go to his house, hit the gate, and this dude's like, hello? And I'm like, hey man, Zach sent me to come pick some stuff up for the store, and he just goes, who are you?
Yeah, not suspicious at all. Hey, I'm here to like
freak
browse his house and take some stuff.
And I go, oh,
I'm doing an audit.
I go, oh, I'm Zach's hat maker. He goes, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds like Zach. I'll buzz you in. And so, like, it was me and Pony, and we were just walking around. I was like, this is cool. And I'm like taking pictures in Zach's house. And all the cool shit I wanted, he's like, yeah, no, fuck you. You can get whatever you want in the garage. But anyways, or in his shop. But I walked into his garage, and there was the bar in there. Dude, this thing was like fucking 12 feet tall. It had like saloon doors on each side. It had like the ceiling, had a roof, had like tile lights in it. It was painted black. It was killer. It had this really cool old mirror in the back. It was like the gold kind of like fracture stuff.
It had its own barkeep.
Yeah.
The bar winch came with it.
It came with a guy.
He's like, well, you want a margarita? I'm like, yes. He hands you like a margarita and like pack smokes and a bunch of edibles. So he's like, get fucked up.
Was that reservation guy when he bull rided? That'll be $10.
Yeah. So a lot of the stuff in the store is from Zach's personal collection.
That's killer.
Which is cool. But I mean, I don't know, dude. Famous dudes lately, I don't know. I don't know. It's like
I message a lot of famous people, but you actually see them. That's why I was asking.
I mean, not as often as you'd think, right? Yeah. Like, let's say for every one famous person, there's like 20 other like regular folks that want hats,
of course.
Which is like that's the bread and butter of my business. It's sick to make famous folks hats. It's cool. I mean, I made a hat in a hat box for for Post Malone. And I've never even fucking...
I don't think he's ever...
I don't know if he's even worn it.
Well, Dustin made boots for him.
Well, yeah, he loves Dustin's boots, wears them in every goddamn video he's got,
Well, we can't wear the hat. I saw that hat.
Can't wear the hat. Was sick.
Nice-ass hat.
That hat box was amazing.
You ever made one for Taylor Lewan? I feel like that's his style.
No, I haven't. Well, that's wrong. I have at my old job. Okay. I made him. It's called Bone. It's like an off-white kind of tannish color with like a black and yellow like dyed hat band.
Okay, yeah.
Funny story about that. When I was like, hey, I'm hiring some people, one dipshit emailed me who worked for like the biggest dipshit in town. I won't say his name. It's the worst.
This is safe space. I'm not recording anymore. I'm just kidding.
It's like the worst. Yeah.
We got it.
Worst dog shit hats you've ever seen. Doesn't even make them. But anyways, this dude emailed me. He's like, hey, man, I work for so-and-so. Like, I've done hats for a long time. And here's some of my work. And he sent me a picture of the hat I made. And I was just like, I want to email you back so bad.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to.
I thought you would.
That's scummy.
No.
Shitty.
No, I'm
well, you did.
Not that
he did do the hat. He did do, from The Fighter and the Kid. You did do his hats.
Brandon Schaub?
You know that. I knew he did do his hats.
I've done all of Brandon's
He seems
hats.
like a cool cat.
Cool.
He's nice to me. He gets a lot of shit on the internet. I don't get it. People love to fucking hate that guy.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
I don't think his stand-up's great. For me, he's just not mine, but I do think he's a cool cat. I would have a drink with him. I think he's cool.
Oh, yeah, dude, he's awesome to hang out with. His brother Jay's cool, too. Like, I met Chappelle Lacey, the other comedian, through him. Mm-hmm. Rad dudes. I mean, they're all super, super rad guys, you know? But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it feels weird to name drop, but, yeah, I mean, I do.
You can. This is our show. You can do what the fuck you want. We're in charge here.
I do,
I've mentioned on the show a couple of episodes where the Black Rifle guys, like, because
I'm waiting for him to get a hat. That's what
I know. It's been. I know.
Come on.
Well, so I did get size for one.
Yeah.
And and then we have all that, and then there was times I was going to, and then stuff came up, and then like I ended up buying everything else but the hat. And it's like I even tried one on. It's a weird thing. Kylie's tried them on too. They're amazing. I've always get to it. And I'm like, something comes up, or I end up buying some other stupid shit, and I don't get one. And
I hope you're happy.
Sounds like a bullshit excuse.
Fuck you.
Your wife doesn't want a dirt bike, bro. She wants a fucking hat.
We all want dirt bikes. Don't lie. We all want dirt bikes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. I meet a lot of really rad people, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm making one for...
when are you doing one for Lainey Wilson? That's what I need to know.
Oh, I don't know. Probably never.
You know,
I make one for her guitar player.
You know, I messaged her and told her she needs to get fucking hats made.
Dude, thank you so much.
So she hasn't gotten it yet because it's not been seen. So I know she hasn't gotten it, so I'm just waiting.
She'll get to it, or her assistant will.
I on there. She was talking about Nashville, and I was like, you know what? I said, you're not that cool. So I got on there. I was like, hey, I know you think you got cool hats. I said, but you hit my boy up.
Right.
He's got some hats.
I make her guitar player's hats.
I know.
Aslan. Yeah, I make a lot of his hats. He and I used to tour together. He played in a killer band called Unifier. They're kind of like Jimmy Eat World kind of vibes. They're fantastic, dude. And we did like a 2-month-long like summer tour with them. We shared a van with them, and it was the most uncomfortable but the most fun tour I've ever had in my life. It was awesome, man. It was.
So she needs to get her ass in there. She didn't answer me.
Yeah,
I tried.
It's okay.
I'm waiting for it's going to get out because I mean I've seen them on the CMAs and all that stuff too. Like Zach wore his.
Zach wore his. My buddy Alex plays bass for Jelly Roll.
Dean Jackson's worn his.
Jackson Dean, yeah. Jackson Dean just got 2 brand new ones. He hasn't even worn them yet.
So did I tell you I saw him at the airport?
Did you really?
So we went to Vegas last year in May.
Yeah.
We had like a 6 a.m. flight.
Okay.
Standing right
and
behind
I was
us.
like my energy level was too high for that time, but I don't get out much, so I was really amped up about going to Vegas. So I'm in the line, and I'm like this. I look over, I'm looking, I see his guitar case, and I see a Daisy May sticker. I looked at Zach.
I'm going to talk to him.
I was like, I'm going to talk to him about this fucking hat. So I walked up and I was like, you going to play us a little tune on the plane for our ride in? He was like, he was like this. He was like, no, man. I said,
hell no.
I looked at him. I said, Gage made you that hat. He said, yeah, dude. I said, it's cool as fuck. And then we just started shooting the shit. I didn't go like,
he's great.
I wasn't going to be like, I know him too. Look at my stickers.
Jackson.
No, he's a nice guy.
I've made his hats for years.
He's super humble.
He's a great kid.
He was exhausted.
Yeah.
He was just like,
dude,
no, I'm not
I hooked him up with a bunch of Protect when he came.
Okay.
He came by the shop, and
he was just at the Opry.
Yeah, he's crushing, dude.
Yeah, he's doing really well
right now.
I like his music.
One thing that was really cool was his record label, Big Machine, rented out my old store, for like a day, dude, and they bought like all these fucking people hats, and I was like, this is awesome.
Oh, I also messaged the guy from Yellowstone about a hat.
Taylor Sheridan?
No, not Taylor. He seems like a dick. I love his work, though.
His movie's the best.
I know. It was the other guy who was the asshole that got... What's his name? He got picked up. He's sleeping with the really hot barrel racer, the blonde.
You talking about Jimmy?
No, not...
No, not
Ryan
Jimmy.
Bingham?
I know who you're talking about. Yes.
I messaged him.
Yeah.
I'd love to make that guy. I've been listening to that dude for years.
I know.
I've been listening to him
too.
for like fucking 10
I'm trying,
years.
man.
He's
I
awesome.
messaged him, too.
He's great.
Because I was like, who does... I was like, hey, I know you're like a big hat guy. I said not to make this fucking weird, but as I know you probably won't ever get this. But if you do...
Yeah.
I said, here's the stuff. Hit him up.
Yeah.
I said, also, when you go, here's my name. Tell him I sent you.
Yeah.
I want to get in-store. I'm getting in-store credit. Yeah, dude. All I can say is like, no, or they'll never get it. Joe Rogan, I messaged too. Not about hats. I told him, I said, hey, love your show, whatever. I said, I'm a fellow podcaster as well. My show's huge. I said, but you need to get me on your show. I said, I don't know what you're waiting on.
Get who?
You.
Oh, I'd love to do a show.
I told him.
Yeah.
He didn't get it yet. But he has. Dude, like.
It's the biggest podcast in the world.
It is. Exactly. But do you know how much fun you have?
Oh,
Evan's been on there. We need to network this out.
I know.
He does them long-ass episodes.
A lot of my friends have been on it, actually. Evan and Trevor and all kinds of dudes. I don't know. Yeah, it's everybody's dream to be on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't know what we're waiting on.
I mean, he probably gets so many requests. I mean, I know he does his own, like, he picks the guests or whatever. It's not like he's got a booking guy. He does his own thing. So, I guess he's,
Maybe he'll invite me on instead.
Hell yeah, he should, dude. You're fucking awesome.
You're
great. You guys are great at podcasting. This is awesome.
Thanks, man. We're figuring it out still. But we've made a lot of changes. Like it's like going into it, we're like, we'll just see what happens. 'Cause we've done this before.
Yeah,
like 6-7 years ago, we tried it.
Yeah,
we had a different name, all kinds of stuff. We bought equipment, and we did like 3
if you stuck
episodes.
with it, where you'd be now.
I know exactly right.
Well,
if we would have stuck with it a long time ago,
maybe
we did
so,
Awesome Sauce.
but it was more pop culture. It wasn't. I don't know. It was. They were not bad episodes.
But back then, like, podcasts were just emerging. It's
that's true.
Yeah, so that'd have been great.
We did our podcast for a long time, but then
y'all show was solid.
Thanks, man.
I liked it.
I cheated. My producer won a Grammy for producing,
which I reached out to him too. He was great. David's great because
he's amazing.
I had questions about equipment and all this stuff.
Did he help you?
Yeah, so he answered some questions. I said, dude, y'all show's production value is, and I was like, I know you don't have this massive studio. You were just doing it in the shop.
Yeah.
So he told me what he was using and stuff. So it kind of steered me in the right direction.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him a while on Instagram.
I haven't either, dude. He moved.
Y'all show was good. You need to fire it back up.
I'd like to,
because now you've got even a bigger following.
Yeah.
You could have some serious guests.
I'd like to. It'd be a lot of fun because I like doing it. Because I mean,
it's
I can
blast
talk as much as you can, which is part of our issue. When you come to the store, we fucking sit and talk for hours.
I actually told Kyle that I was like, I have to actually like catch myself and be like, he has to work. I have to go home, like, because if not, it'll be like, oh fuck, like,
dude. That was part of the problem of the old store. It was like it was a hang. So like everybody would come hang, and I'm like, well, I love you. I have to get this hat done.
Oh yeah, that's why I would like text first and be like, I'm on my way. I was busy, and like I would set it like on my phone like a timer, like an hour tops.
Yeah,
and then I have to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
because if not, I'll be like, well, I'm gonna sit in the corner and let's just watch you work.
Dude, the one time this guy came by and he was like talking about getting a hat. I was like, yeah, for sure. I was like, we can sit right here, get you sized up, and he's like, yeah, dude, for sure. He's like, yeah, let's sit down and talk a minute. And I was like, what? No, I can't do it. And I just started to be like, hey, man, if you're getting a hat, I want to help you out. I really don't have time to like just chat because I have hats to make. And he was just like, yeah, dude, for sure. For sure, let's talk about getting a hat. And I'm like, great.
You're like, no, you have to leave.
Yeah, it was like 10 minutes in. I was like, okay, I have to go, dude. Like,
you can't help it, though, because it was such a cool space, too.
It was
and,
cool.
like, you know, not knowing the world, watching you work, you're like, yeah, he's probably fine. He can get that done while I'm just standing here watching. But then it's like, I don't like people watching me work a lot either, so I'm like, I'm going to go.
I didn't really mind it. It was cool to have, like, buddies kind of come in and hang and stuff like that. But, yeah, it was, it got to be an issue where I was like, oh, my God, literally dude, people were coming in bringing guns. Like, look what I just bought. And I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Let's take a picture with this. Okay, now you got to leave, dude. There was some wild shit.
I've pulled out guns in there before and showed stuff.
Dude,
I was like, dude, check out what we got.
I know. Yeah, at one point I was like, hey, y'all got to stop bringing guns in here. Like,
next will be swords and javelin shit. Like, I bought this horse. Check it out. It's out back.
Dude, I had this, like, AR-15 BB gun.
Okay.
I have one.
Yeah. I put a bunch of boxes against the wall, and I didn't really think it through, and I started shooting the shit out of these boxes. It ate the drywall up.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like...
There's holes in that shed where we threw arrows through it. My brother was here shooting one day on air rifles, and it went through, hit their cars. Oh, fuck.
Oh, dude, yeah. It was... Yeah. Yeah, be careful of that stuff, man.
So much fun.
Yeah, the new store is more tame.
I feel bad we haven't been by yet. We almost did a couple days ago.
It's cool, man.
Yeah, I love the pictures.
Where's it at?
It's inside the Fairlane Hotel downtown.
Okay,
here in
Nashville. It's a cool ass little spot, dude.
Yeah, it was sweet, man. Yeah, we really like lucked out with the location and everything. And so when I was putting the store together, all I was thinking about was well, going back to when I met Matt Edmondson, right? That painter who owns Imaging.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, you're from New Mexico and you rode bulls and you're from the Southwest. I was like, yeah. He goes, you should really play into that with your company. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I never really have.
Yeah.
Because you walk in the old shop and it was just wild. There's like skateboards on the wall. There's like bull riding stuff. There's a fucking poster of Ice Cube and all this wild, a bunch of random art people would send me, all this crazy.
It was a severed head.
Dude, it was like, it just got to be like too much. It was like a random like tomahawk my buddy made me like on the mantle.
That thing was fucking cool.
Yeah, from Lucas from Grizzly Forge.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So the whole time putting together the new one, I was like, all right, I want it to be the Southwest. Like, what's New Mexico? So that's literally everything. I was like, if it's not New Mexico, it's not Southwest, it's not going into the store.
Well, Dustin's got his own cool vibe too.
Yeah,
so
Dustin added a lot.
It's a good collage of both y'all.
Dude, cool. Yeah, and it was great because we would be grabbing a bunch of shit, and he'd be like, what about this? What do you think about that? We'd send pictures back and forth. Yes, no, do you like this? And he'd be like, no, not really. I'm like, okay, great. So, and we're still changing it up, which is cool, you know. But
that girl did that video on Instagram because Dustin shared it where she went. I guess she's someone who tours Nashville, and she came in with the Fairline Hotel and did each shop.
Oh yeah.
And what's funny, she said, "And this little boutique here makes really cute hats," and I was like, "Bitch, did you say cute hats?"
Yeah.
But it was a good video shot of y'all's shop, so it's a cool spot, man.
Yeah, it's sweet, dude. Everything in the store is handmade, and that was like my big thing. Yeah. So there's like jewelry, like silversmith work. My buddy Chad out in Albuquerque. Our friend Amelia does all the pottery in there. There's like really cool mugs and everything. All the leather work is from Taylor from Simpleton Goods in Oklahoma City.
Still have that belt.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, he
awesome
crushes.
Stuff.
Obviously, Dustin has the boots, and I have the hats. And then our buddy Brandon Owen does all the artwork in there. So all the paintings are only from Brandon.
Did Taylor's wife make y'all anything for the shop?
Yeah, dude. She actually made both the displays in there.
Okay.
So when you walk in, there's two displays that she and I kind of thought of. And she made them, dude, and just like knocked.
I still have
out
some of the hat hooks from the old shop she made.
I know, dude.
They're so badass.
All the walls in this new store are glass, so it's really hard to.
I'm glad I snatched them up when I did.
Yeah, it's I can't like really go up. You know what I mean? We're trying to like figure out ways to display stuff, but it's kind of hard because there's. But I got a big ass old like cactus tree thing from Zach's house. It's really fucking cool.
It's just on the front window, sponsored by Zach Brown.
Dude, I should have, man. Shit.
Like a little museum.
There's all kinds of stuff
decorated by Zach Brown.
Yeah.
Decorated.
Yeah. What's that? Yeah.
Is there a lot of foot traffic in that hotel? I've never been to that hotel.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, which is cool. But it's like they're like tourists, right? So the thing is they're like they want something now, you know. Whereas I feel like the old shop people are like, yeah, I'm from here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or stuff like that. So it's a change that I think we're still trying to get used to and trying to figure out and you know, figure out what works and what doesn't and the joys of owning your own company.
Hey, my dad said it's the greatest job in the world is owning your own business.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
He says it to this day. He's had a bunch of them.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He says it is the best job in the world is being your own boss, having your own business.
I can see that.
He does. And he doesn't do it anymore. He's been in the same company for like 23 years, but like that was his
I think I
jam.
might at some point. I've talked about this with buddy George. We might get into the consulting game because
I know what y'all are getting at.
I've talked to enough consultants in the business that I'm in that I'm like, I could.
I told that guy used to work for us.
And they make so much money.
Oh, yeah. I told him.
Just to tell people what to do.
Yeah. I told that guy that left our company, I said, if you need somebody to just hype up and bring coffee, call me.
You're the guy.
100%.
Damn right. Yeah.
Actually, if I started a consulting company, you're like my bulldog salesman guy. Is what you're the one that goes in there and is going to hype everybody up. We're like, I'm buying this stuff.
I don't give a shit if it works.
Exactly.
Yeah. 100%. It's like on what's the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? Where he's like the millionaire guy.
Oh, yeah, like Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street's like, we're not fucking going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to have to send an army in here. Oh, that's the great Jordan Belfort. I love that movie.
I'm not fucking leaving. That guy. Yeah. I'm not fucking leaving.
How much battery you got left on there, Zach?
We're getting down there to the definitely single digit, 5-6%.
Let's wrap it up.
Sign this sucker off.
Okay.
Dude, awesome. Finally glad you got to be on here.
Come out,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for hanging out.
I really appreciate it. This was really, really fun.
Yeah,
this was really fun. Is this where we can do his plug? Like, where can we? I love when they're like, where can we find you at?
Yeah, where can we find you?
Where can we find you at, Gage?
Yeah, my it's just 3 Horses Hat Co. on everything. That's like the website, Instagram. I'm not in Facebook. I've been locked out for forever.
It's not that great.
I don't have Twitter.
Nobody's there. Just everybody's grandmother.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's really it, man. That's where to find me, and that's the easiest place.
And if you need help, I share a lot of it. And then I'll also, of course, this episode we'll heavy tag.
Right. Yeah, and I'll repost it, too. Obviously. Duh.
Sweet.
So, that'd be sick. Well, thanks, guys. This was great. I appreciate you so much. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, like, follow, subscribe, share with 10,000 friends.
It's 10,000.
See you next time.
I love it. See ya.